Just across the bay from Atlantic City, New Jersey, final round coverage of the ShopRite LPGA Classic presented by Acer. We are at the Bay Course at the Stockton Seaview Hotel and Golf Club, where the weather has been the story. Sunny for all 3 days of this 54-hole event. The wind has kicked up yesterday and today. Some early highlights with Watson with Kurt Byram. This is Maurya Jutana Garn, the 18-year-old rookie, playing in the final group for the first time in her career. Par save at 1.
It looked a little shaky from the tee, but she recovers with the big par save.
About the Hall of Fame member Kari Webb making an early run. This her second to the par 5 third.
Yeah, she's coming off a birdie at 2, which is the hardest hole on the golf course, and then just a great hybrid shot here at the third hole location into the back. And that's exactly where this ball ends up. She had that for eagle.
Webb is coming off her season best finish. She tied for 4th in Mobile, carrying some momentum. She has 3 top 10s this year. And that eagle putt put her within 2 of the lead held by the reigning Wegmans LPGA champion Shin Fung. This was for par at 2.
That very difficult par 4. A really poor stroke right there. Shaky at best.
Had a lot of work left just to save bogey at the hardest hole on the golf course.
It's a much better stroke, but unfortunately the bottom line is she makes double on her second hole.
And just like that, the lead evaporated. She was tied for the lead at 4 under, but then gains 1 back. Shin Fung making birdie at the par 5 third to get back to 5 under, so she's +1 on the day. Kari Webb making a charge is 1 back. Michelle Wie trying to win for the first time since 2010. A race to the finish here in New Jersey. Golf Channel and the LPGA Tour proud to bring you final round coverage of the 2013 ShopRite LPGA Classic presented by Acer. Just minutes away from historic Atlantic City, New Jersey, and all it has to offer. The iconic boardwalk, many of the players and caddies taking advantage of the sights and sounds just a few minutes away from the Stockton Seaview Hotel and Golf Club in Galloway Township, New Jersey. There's the city across the bay. Another sunny afternoon. It's been gorgeous, but increasingly windy as we've gone through the week. Today, gusting up to 25 miles an hour. Possible some rain in the afternoon later, but wind is going to be the story. The golf course, not that long, under 6,200 yards, but these fairways and greens firm and fast. Whit Watson, Kurt Byram, and Tom Abbott in the booth for this final round. Jerry Foltz and Kay Cockrell on the course at the ShopRite LPGA Classic. At the 4th, this was a moment ago, Shin Fung with her 3rd.
And that was such a brutally difficult shot that she made look routine. That, Kurt Byram, was excellent.
From that low area down there, she bumped it right to the top of the ridge. Played it very well.
Now this, another big par save opportunity for Maurya Jutana Garn.
Drove it in the left rough, left the second shot well short of the green. Played the pitch down to here.
A drop shot there. Let's meet our final group today.
Hi, I'm Maurya Jutana Garn from Bangkok, Thailand. Also, I love to play tennis.
Hello, my name is Hae-ji Kang. I'm from South Korea and I love R&B music. And my favorite group band is Maroon 5.
Hi, my name is Shin Fung. I'm from Guangzhou, China. And for those that you don't know me, my nickname is Jenny.
Here is the 22-year-old Hae-ji Kang. This is for birdie to get within 2.
She has a good idea about the line after watching that previous putt. Going back into the wind, though, you really have to commit. The wind's having an effect on the putts. There isn't any question about that.
Let's go to 5 and say hello to Tom Abbott.
Thank you, Whit. Good afternoon. This is Chi Aramura from Japan for a birdie. She's playing in the penultimate group today, along with Anna Norquist and Karine Shea. That's a very good effort there. And has made a good start, 1 under par for the round already. No drop shots.
Over at
the 6 whip.
Sorry, Tom. Over at 6, here is Kari Webb, who's been one of the hotter players on the course early on. Kay Cockrell with this group.
Actually hit a very solid drive here, but that hard right to left wind just moved it a one pace off the intermediate cut. 142 to the hole, 131 to the front, and she's gripping down on probably just a 7 or 8 iron.
This is one of the most exposed greens on the golf course. Look at how far right she has to aim it. Didn't jump out of that rough like she thought it would, Kay.
No, but all in all, that's not a terrible leave.
Susanna Norquist for a birdie at the 5th. And has played well here in the past. 5th, 5th, and 8th in her last 3 starts at the ShopRite LPGA Classic.
Michelle Wie looking for her first win on the LPGA Tour since the 2010 Canadian Open. She's even as she plays the 6th.
Nasty lie in the fescue. Oh, you can see her shaking that right hand. That stung.
Well, this stuff, you could get hurt in it. That's not the worst of the fescue either. I mean, we've seen balls lost in the fescue this week. You can see that's the lighter stuff, but still, terrible spot to be.
Well, keep an eye on that as Michelle Wie is still shaking that right hand after knocking it out of that thick fescue. Shen Feng, 1-shot lead here on Sunday. Speaking of Michelle Wie, still to come, we dig into our video vault and go back a decade. Michelle Wie making her debut at this event as a 13-year-old. Later today, somebody taking home this trophy. Enjoy our final round coverage here on Golf Channel. Out to the 6th, Michelle Wie now playing her 3rd.
From 70 yards. Trying to imagine something.
There's a backstop there, but it won't stop that ball. She's on an upper level.
Boy, that, you know, she got the raw end of that one because she executed that very well.
Now that's the kind of stuff you're going to see today, though, because of the firmness of the greens and the wind blowing like it is.
Short par 4 5th. Shen Feng on the tee.
Yeah, short, playing about 460 today, it appears. Straight into the breeze, and there is fescue and bunkers everywhere.
Is it left?
Yes.
Oh, it's in the fescue, Jerry. It looked like it may have hopped the bunker and gone in the fescue.
Is indeed in the fescue. I don't see any way a ball bounces out of that.
At the 6th, Kari Webb also playing her 3rd.
This is such an awkward little shot, Kurt. Probably about 8-9 paces to the front. Then there's a rise, a little false front. Then it flattens out where the hole is located. She has to ensure she gets up over that rise.
This is one of those shots that I think she may even bump in short of the green and let it run up. At the very least, she's got to land it into that false front and let it take one hop to the top and then hopefully roll to the hole.
I think she went back and took a club with less loft, and she's now setting up for a chip and run type shot.
So both players with some work left to do to save par there at 6. Whit Watson, Kurt Byram with you. You can see the win. That is obviously going to be the story here on Sunday. British Open style conditions for this final round of the ShopRite LPGA Classic. Friday's scoring average 74.3. Saturday's 74.6 on a par 71 layout.
It's really tough out there. We are seeing some better scores today in the early rounds, and I think a lot of that is due to the rule staff. They set it up a little bit easier easier as far as the hole locations go, but it doesn't change how firm the greens are and how hard the wind's blowing. So it's going to be a huge challenge out there today. A lot of it's going to depend on your state of mind. If you are positive mentally and you can hang in there and grind it out, it's that kind of a day. If you let this all get to you where the ball's bouncing around everywhere, you're going to make some big mistakes probably. You got to be able to handle all that today, and it's going to be a challenge for all these players.
And precisely because of that element, the element of the wind, the need for patience, experience counts, here comes Kari Webb making the move early.
Yeah, she had a little bit of a mistake there at 6, but that kind of experience, she's won 38 times out here. She's in the Hall of Fame. That is so valuable on a day like today because she's been through this before. So we'll see how she handles it. It's going to be tough for her too, but it definitely should help.
Shen Feng getting ready to defend that Wegmans LPGA Championship title coming up in just a couple of days in Rochester. In the meantime, work to be done here on Sunday in Galloway, New Jersey. We'll head back out to the 6th. Michelle Wee is playing in Kari Webb's group today, and this will be to save par.
And guys, out here on this completely exposed green, it is so very hard just to stand still without wavering, and that makes putting so tough. And perhaps Kurt influenced Kari Webb's chip shot. She might have moved a little on that and just caught it less than solid.
Yeah, no question about it. I think it's one of those days. Even pitch shots are being whipped around in the wind. You really want to keep the ball on the ground as much as you can. At times you're going to be forced to come in high over bunkers and whatnot, but try to keep it on the ground as much as you can and keep the ball rolling.
This putt, under normal circumstances, would be challenging, putting from the top level down to the lower level.
This kind of wind blowing, if you make a mistake with your tee ball too, it's if you have much curve on the ball and it's going with this wind, it's going to end up in some bad spots, and you really can't afford it here with the fescue that they have off of these fairways. A good look at Michelle Wee's putting style, which she started last year. She feels strongly that it's helped her. Statistically, she's not putting terrible. I mean, she's ranked about 52nd on the tour right now in putts per green in regulation.
This is the 5th hole, and doesn't look like good news for Shen Feng. The golf ball is in her hand, Jerry.
Well, yeah, she actually played a provisional. Can't play that now, even though it's in the fairway. She found it. It was hittable, but you could get to the back of the ball cleanly, but right in front of it was knee-high fescue that it probably wasn't going to get through. So taking it unplayable, bringing it back, keeping that spot between her and the hole. And we'll be playing this next one from about 95 yards to the front.
So while she puts the ball back in play, we'll go back to number 6.
Kari Webb to save par.
Yeah, this is a healthy 20-22 footer. Good news is she's just about up on that the top of the fault's edge, and so this is basically a pretty level putt. Wind blowing hard from the right.
It's going to be a matter of survival today. Who makes the least amount of mistakes? As we go back to 5.
Shin Feng.
More left to right, but I'd say 3 yards or so.
Third shot now, 97 front, 111 hole, uphill lie into the wind, going with pitch and wedge. That I would think she might need more club, Kurt.
If she gets it up high at all, she's going to need a lot more.
She can't keep it too low because it does have to clear that fescue. It's only about 3 steps in front of her. Caught a lot of it, and it's going flying through the wind nicely. Didn't expect that.
It's hard when you have that little left to go, 111 yards, to pull an 8-iron if you have to. And sometimes you have to.
Hee Young Park is the third member of this group over at 6, playing with Kari Webb and Michelle Wee. She's got this for par.
And Hee Young actually hit her second shot into the left bunker and hit a really nice bunker shot into the wind at this point.
She's made 2 birdies and a bogey so far today. So she's off to a really good start.
So important to set the tone early that you have somewhat control over your game and this golf course.
I'm not sure anybody has control of this golf course right now, Kay.
I said somewhat control.
Well, I would think Kari's looking forward to the rest of the day because her ball striking skills are going to matter today, and she's one of the best at that.
It's interesting. She showed a bit of frustration there with her chip shot. Not pleased with the way she executed that at all. And got to keep your emotions in check. Bogeys at times out here are going to be quite good. It's just so hard, Kurt, when you're trying to get comfortable over the ball and that wind is blowing really hard at your backside right now.
It's easy to feel yourself get blown off balance.
First drop shot of the day for Kari Webb. Still within 2 for the moment as we go back to 5.
Maurya Jutana, second shot to this par 4.
That was from 93 yards after a long wait, and she produced a beauty.
It's the first green that she has hit in this final round. A good chance for a birdie for Maurya Jutana. Back to number 6.
Michelle Wee, this is for bogey. So the 6th claiming some shots from this group. Closer you get to the bay, the more pronounced that wind becomes here on Sunday. Shin Feng, 2-shot lead for the moment at 5 under, final round of the ShopRite LPGA Classic. Golf Channel's presentation of the ShopRite LPGA Classic is brought to you by ShopRite. Download the ShopRite app today. Easy, mobile, free. Details at ShopRite.com. By Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. And by the new Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X. Performance is for every player.
Back at the 7th hole, Kari Webb, wind whipping off the left. Kay, where do you start this one?
Oh, well, I think you forget trying to get close to the hole and you go for the center of the green. Oh, boy, that was a rare miscue there, Kurt.
She hit about 3 inches behind the ball. Boy, it is one of those days. You had better commit 100% to whatever the shot you're trying to play, or you're going to be in big trouble.
I tell you what, if you're going to miss it somewhere, that's not the worst spot. It's not in the fescue. That's the good news. Feng for a bogey at 5.
Pretty straight from here, leaving that lengthy par putt well short. Little downhill. That hurts.
That's going to be the second double bogey of the round. She double bogeyed the second hole of the day. And we are back tied at the top, and the lead is 3 under par. I tell you what, Kurt, level par could win this.
It could, absolutely it could, because it's not going to get any easier. As these greens continue to dry up and get even more firm than they are, it's going to be really tough to make a birdie, let alone.
Michelle Wee's tee shot at 7.
Yeah, going with a 5-iron. Again, just trying to find the center of the green somehow.
Is it going to stay on the green? Yes, it's going to be okay. It does trundle off towards the bunker if it goes too far to the right of the screen. That is flagged high. Michelle holding her rib cage. Ominous. We'll find out about that. Heiji Kang for par at 5. Heiji with his second bogey of the day.
Tom, that's actually double. She hit it in the fescue as well. Pitched it out into a bunker, missed the green right, and didn't get it up and down.
Thanks for the update, Jerry. So she is back to 1 under par.
Given all of the players that are at even 1 under, 2 under, huge hope that they could still win this event. All these all these players backing up now.
So Maurya Jutana gone now, number 5.
A little disconcerting, taking all this time, having to watch your players make a mess, your fellow competitors make a mess of this hole, but still has this great opportunity for birdie here. And really, who knows, Kurt, what the winning score is going to be when all's said and done.
Tough to predict, isn't it? I mean, it's actually supposed to blow a little harder later this afternoon. So
I don't know if Christy Kerr's left the property. She's done. Shot 3 under to finish at 3 over.
She hit it. Yes, just enough. Well, 3 over is the best score in the house right now. Jarina Pillar has a few holes to play. She's 1 under for the day and 2 over for the tournament. This is going to be very interesting as the afternoon progresses, but 3 under leads the way right now. Back to number 7. This is a par 3, but Kari Webb has this for a second.
About 20 paces shy of the green. Overall, a 35-yard shot.
Steady. Okay. May get away with a par here.
Take a look at our location this week for this ShopRite LPGA Classic at the Stockton Seaview Hotel and Golf Club. Not too far away from Philadelphia, about an hour or so, you'll find the Jersey Shore, Atlantic City, and the town of Galloway. The Bay Course, one of 2 on the property here. The Pines Course is the one you see to the left, winding through the tall trees. The golf course laid out by Hugh Wilson in 1914. The golf course setup presented by the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America. Donald Ross, though, finished it in 1915. He is given credit for designing the course. There are some fantastic historic photographs all throughout the hotel of the golf course back in the day. This was a great vacation spot. The 1942 PGA Championship was played at the Seaview. Sam Snead was your winner that year. Leela Narang, the tournament director, and Tim Aronson, the executive director. We thank them for all of their assistance this week.
Absolutely, yeah, they do a very good job here putting this event on. Very popular stop on the LPGA Tour. Plenty of folks coming out to watch. Big gallery watching this group. Michelle Wee with a birdie putt here at the 7th.
Yeah, it's a birdie putt, but I think she'd do well to get this down in 2, close to 40 feet. First 2/3 is uphill, last third downhill, and this green is littered with little seedlings from a nearby tree. It's going to hit some bumps.
Steady. Michelle will have that left for a par.
Chi Arimura from Japan. This is at 6.
From that top level, down the slope, and pretty darn good speed right there. She is 2 under. Excuse me, she's 3 under par total. 1 under today. She hasn't made a bogey. She is really playing some steady, quality golf.
Young player whose nickname is Archie. She's very fond of that nickname, too. She likes it. Shen Feng on the tee at 6. This was a moment ago.
And out of the right. It's a little bit of a blind shot for the players. She can't see where that ball is. It'll end up in great shape down on the left side of the fairway.
And we go back up live to the green at the 6th. Karina Ishe, this is for birdie, and that gives you an idea, Kurt, of just how these putts can get away from you on these greens.
Yeah, she had to go up and over that false front, and she's going to leave her one of those putts that you hate to have when the wind's blowing 20 miles an hour, about almost 5 feet for her par.
Ishe is even for the day. She birdied 1, bogeyed 2. I think a lot of players would take that right now, even for the day.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry mentioned that there were a couple of good scores early on. 68, a couple of 68s. There was a 69 early on, but they played in nicer conditions than right now.
Now Kari Webb lining up this par putt at the 7th and K. This is a player who's had success in the Ricoh Women's British Open.
She has won 3 British Opens. We talked in commercial break that one of those was on a more traditional inland course, but a couple of them, I can see where she'd feel right at home on this golf course.
Yeah, she won at Turnberry in 2002 when it was when it had become a major championship. She won it twice when it wasn't a major, but Turnberry is one of the gems of the links rotation in the Open Championship.
We have to think with her long career, 38 wins on the LPGA, 7 majors, she has won in every way fashionable.
What a par for Kari Webb. Well, it was not a good tee shot whatsoever, but she didn't put herself in any trouble, but she gets up and down from about 20 yards short of the green. Kari Webb tied for the lead at the ShopRite LPGA Classic.
At the 6th, Karina Ishe, this to save par.
Disappointing. She had it right on that front edge. Come away with bogey.
Just her second drop shot of the day.
This is Michelle Wee to save par at number 7. It's a 3-putt bogey, I'm afraid, for Michelle Wee.
And the final group has reached the 6th. A.G. Kang over in that nastiness to the left of the fairway.
Her problems continuing. It is lying down grade, and the fescue's kind of down this, so she might be able to get enough club on this to get it up there near the green, but you're going to run the risk of that hosel getting wrapped up and this going left into more trouble.
You really have to, Jerry, I mean, you know, you and I hit it in this stuff a lot, so we kind of know how to do it, but you really do have to stay steeper on the ball. You have to make it a conscious effort to be more up and down and on top of the ball and hit it as hard as you can, and don't let the face close down.
Try and hold that toe off, and with the wind whipping from the right, you can afford to aim even further right to protect yourself, but that is left. Boy, when it goes bad out here under these conditions, Kurt, it can really go bad.
Yeah, the marshal has it up there, Jerry. He's pointing at it inside the hazard in the really deep stuff, so it'll be, I'm guessing it won't be playable from out of there.
Young Par trying to save par now at the 7th. That is the first 3 putts of the week for Hee Young Park, and Kari Webb, who hit an awful tee shot, is the only one that walks away with a par.
Shen Feng at the 6th.
From 129 yards, wind whipping from the right, maybe helping a bit, but going with pitching wedge. Looks like she's shutting it down, Kurt.
She better, or she won't get it there.
That's exactly right. That got up in the air on a good line if it's the bat. I think the wind's blowing. See how that ball reacted?
I'll tell you. She started that out right of the green with a little draw and the wind. It ends up on the left edge.
To the 8th tee, the par 4. Here is Webb.
Now Kari going with a driver here. I suppose just wants to get it down there as far as she can. That's going a little left.
If you can hit it far enough and get it in the front bunker, that's the ideal place. This shot right here that she has, this green is so hard and it's dead downwind. She'll have a hard time keeping that ball on the green.
Maurya Jutana Garn at the 6th, left side of the fairway.
Under 21 yards. She's aiming well right also. That looked like a chip 9-iron. Started way right in the wind, bringing it back a lot, but that really got eaten up on it. From that angle, was playing a little more into the wind as well.
A little unlucky, too. If that ball lands on the crest of that ridge, it probably takes a bounce forward, but it landed on the face.
Chierimura at the 7th hole. Second hardest hole on the golf course. Getting a little concerned, and that is going to end up, I think, in the bunker.
Yeah, That'll be so tough. Back into the wind, kind of a long bunker shot. Boy, good luck trying to get that one close.
Michelle Wie at the 8th.
And Michelle going with hybrid, hoping to erase the memories of her tee shot here yesterday.
She hit an iron off this tee yesterday in the hazard. She got the hazard, but that was a poor swing, and it leaves her well back. The angle, there's a downslope on the front edge of the green. No bargain.
Conditions just playing havoc out here in the final round of the ShopRite LPGA Classic. Kari Webb, Chi Arimura, Shen Feng, all at 3 under par here on Sunday. Back out at the 8th, Michelle Wie with her 2nd.
Nearly impossible shot, 60 yards dead downwind from the rough.
She'd be lucky if she doesn't go over the green into the hazard here. I don't understand the play from the tee. With her length, you can hit driver in the front bunker, and that's the easiest shot you could have.
Back 1 to 7.
This is Anna Nordquist. And there's 2 over for the day, so 2 bogeys. Oh, look at this tee shot. That is the best one that we have seen so far today.
That takes some guts. That fescue is right there if you pull it.
Kari Webb with her 2nd at 8.
This is no easy shot for Kari. Downhill lie out of the rough. She was trying to get real cute with that curtain. Totally missed it.
But she knows if she flies the ball 5 yards onto the green, it's going over the back as well.
Maurya Jutana Garn. Chance to share the lead. 18-year-old LPGA Tour rookie over at the 6th.
She stood on the last tee, 4 off the lead. This one, as you said, the tide lead up and over the hill. They'll go right as it ascends that hill. Then actually the wind might bring it back to the left at the end. A little softer than it probably would have.
Yeah. Took a little bit of a hop about halfway there as well.
She's had a really good week tee to green. She's driven the ball beautifully, hit a lot of greens in regulation.
Now Webb playing her 3rd at 8.
From a decent lie in the bottom of the bunker. Again, downwind.
See how that ball races away there. The wind's pushing it. I mean, that's pretty good from that bunker. It sounded like she hit it solidly. Thumped it.
Back to 6 and Shen Feng.
This birdie effort, a little bit downhill, believe it or not. This first tier in the green actually slips away from the fairway a bit. Might go a little left, but it looks awfully straight overall. Plenty of speed. Oh, you don't want that one, Kurt.
No, you want to bounce back with a birdie after that double at 5, but you don't want to leave yourself this for par.
Had 5 players in this bunker today. Not one of them has got the ball up and down. Let's see what Chi Arimura can do. Oh, sand right back in her eyes, but that is a top quality shot.
Impressive. Had to carry that ridge into the wind. That was really good.
Back to 8, Michelle Wie with her 3rd now.
From the primary rough, uphill lie to the elevated green into the wind. Man, that's a pretty nice little shot to 3 feet.
That is really good. Atlantic City in the background. Jutana Garn for par now.
And understandably stepping away from it this, well, it's a tough putt. And any tournament, when you're 4 or 5 feet away, the final round with a chance to win, Get on Polanekert, magnifies it even more, and then in this wind, you just have to commit.
Really, really tough. I'll tell you, even when you commit and make a good stroke, sometimes they don't go in.
See if Kari Webb can stay in a share of the lead.
Yeah, this 9-footer for Sandy Parr. Oh, she's grinding it out on the green like you have to on a day like this.
Hey, and that's usually the part of her game that she's, struggled with the last couple years. But if she keeps that up, she's going to be awfully difficult to beat.
Par is your friend today, Kurt. Still at 3 under. Back to 7.
And Norquist has this for a birdie. Great opportunity. Doesn't take advantage. Jarina Pillar has just made a birdie at the 16th. She's got 2 holes to play. She's 1 over par for the tournament. She could win.
Par
birdie,
finish.
Birdie 18.
Maybe birdie 18.
It's a par 5. 17's a short par 3.
Hee Young Park has this for par at the 8th.
And that last hole, that was her first mistake, real mistake, missing that short putt for a 3-putt. She's the kind of player that's just very steady, and she's had a steady season so far. Only missed 1 cut, a couple of top 10s.
Now at the 6th, Fung for par.
Probably got a read from Jutana. I'm not sure how much you can trust it.
Playing with a new set of clubs this week, Shan Fung. Just put them in the bag. Obviously very happy with them.
She said the key was going to be driving the ball for her today.
Michelle Wie back at 8 for par.
And this is to avoid making 3 bogeys in a row.
Michelle Wie +2 for the week. A couple of bogeys at 6 and 7. Kari Webb, Chi Arimura, Shen Fung, all at 3 under par.
Back on the tee at number 7, Shen Fung.
Going with 5-iron, as you guys said earlier, just forget about today's hole location. You cannot get it close to that. Aim it at the flag and let it drift right. Exactly what she did.
Stay on the green, I think. Still no guaranteed 2-putt as we saw Michelle Wie struggle from there. Up to the tee at the par 5 9th, and Kari Webb.
And Tom, I swear these fairways are starting to look narrower and narrower. Oh, she just hit that as solid as can be. Beautiful swing.
Talking to a couple of players yesterday at this 9th hole, and they were struggling to judge the wind. They thought it was straight down, but in fact, more to the left. At number 7, Maurya Jutana Garn.
Well, this is an aggressive line if it gets bow. It was. That was straight in line with the flagstick until it started coming down, and it just took a right turn and dropped straight down.
We saw Kari Webb get up and down from a spot further towards the tee from where Maurya finished up.
Here is Arimura on the tee at the 8th, 1 under on the day.
Looks like probably a 3-wood for her, which if she hits it straight, it'll put her toward the end of the fairway. Hopefully she's far enough back where she can spin this sand wedge shot. It looks like she might be.
To 9.
Michelle Wie going with the driver here, Kate.
And that wind howling in and from the left. She starts this right. Wind is going to exaggerate it. And that's the problem. Your misses are exaggerated greatly.
The marshal is saying it's safe, so we'll find out. Whit.
Well, back in 2003, Tom, at the ShopRite LPGA Classic, a 13-year-old Michelle Wie granted a sponsor's exemption. She was a high school freshman back then. This was her tee shot on the 13th, which is now the 17th hole here at the Bay Course. The routing was different back in 2003. Making a couple of birdies, had a good chance for a birdie at the final hole, the 18th, which is still the 18th 10 years later. Very young Michelle Wie then joined the Golf Channel telecast with Kay Cockrell.
Only the energy of a 13-year-old would want to come out here after playing 18 holes and join up. Michelle, great to have you join us. How's your experience been so far this week?
It's been great because it was a new experience for me, and now I'm doing this, so it's fun. I'm doing everything. I cooked on Tuesday night.
At the party?
Yeah, and I'm doing this now.
Now, what made you want to come out here and try out a little commentary?
Because I've never done it before, and it's going to be fun because I get to watch Inkster and a lot of good players play, and I've never done this before, and second job opportunity.
She's already planning for her future.
Now, that's really odd because Michelle looks obviously like a 13-year-old back there, but Kay hasn't aged in 10 years. That is remarkable.
She must have been living well in San Francisco. That's all I can say, Kay. She's not going to comment.
No.
Smart. Smart.
Leaving herself out of this. Ari Maurya at the 8th. We'll just find out how far back she did leave herself.
Hopefully she's far enough back. You can see dead downwind. You want to land this just on the front. Even the fringe would be better. It'll take a huge hop. We got it on the fringe. Very nicely played. She landed it right on her spot, I guarantee you. That's as close as we've seen a ball to the hole.
I was about to say that is the best shot we have seen there all day, and one of the best all week at 8.
Just a moment to go at the 9th. Kari Webb with her second.
Kari going with a fairway wood, trying to keep it low. And she pulled that one.
That is all fescue on the other side. We'll have to see if it stayed short.
And Michelle Wie with her second shot.
Just a nasty, terrible lie. Ball sitting down, big hunk of grass right behind the ball.
Oh, I'm not so sure she moved him on about a foot.
Boy, that you called it, Kurt, and you've said it all week long. That can happen so easily.
Yep. The grass wraps around the lower part of the shaft. Forget the club face. It wraps around the shaft, jerks the club face closed, and you've got no chance.
And Michelle's a strong young woman, and she's not trying to hit this any more than like 50 or 60 yards.
Big problems for Michelle Wie at the 9th. We've seen a few players have problems on this hole during the week. Let's take another look at this first one.
I think the limb bothered her too, Tom. I think right in her backswing there. Let's see if she hits that. See how she hits the limb right there? That just totally throws you off. And you know, you're instead of concentrating on what you're doing down below where the ball is, you're thinking about that limb that you just hit.
Battling to try and win this golf tournament. Hasn't won for almost 3 years. Up to number 10.
Amanda Blumenhurst, who we talked quite a bit about yesterday. This is for birdie, the former player of the year, 3-time player of the year at Duke, at +3 for the week and now +4 on the day, but a chance to get one back.
She was very proud of her husband, Nate, yesterday. He hit a triple in the Oakland A's game. He's a first baseman for the A's.
And there is a shot regained for Amanda Blumenhurst. At +2, she is not out of the conversation by any stretch.
This is Amy Azato. She at the par 3 15th. She's 2 over today. 4 over par for the tournament. There's a chance for a birdie here. We'll go back to number 9 and Michelle Wie. It's the 4th shot.
Yeah, I'm just going to go in between the TV tower and the flag. Okay.
She has 147 yards, so basically trying to get this up and down for a par just inside of 150 yards. Pretty nice looking line.
Asking for it to be good. That left to save par. Back to number 7, Maurya Jutana, who came up short of the green with her tee shot.
Not a brutally tough pitch shot here. Just try and get it to release up over a little hill because whole location today in a little bit of a bowl. Pretty good there.
Go up to number 9 and Kari Webb. We can't see where the ball is finished up, Kay, but is it lying okay for a third?
It's a tough lie. It's down in the primary rough, which is about 2.5, 3 inches, sitting down. She's blocked. She has a blocked view to the hole by that fescue-covered mound.
Still have that one left for a birdie. Kari Webb tied for the lead at 3 under par.
Arimura at the 8th.
She's going to have this for birdie in the outright lead. There's not a lot into this. Again, it's more about trying to stay steady over the ball and just make a good solid stroke.
Best finish of the year was tied for 22nd at the Mobile Bay LPGA Classic. Has missed 3 cuts this year. First-year LPGA player.
You know, it's hard to say. Did the wind blow her off a little bit? Did she make a bad stroke? I mean, it's so hard out there right now to tell what's going on because of the wind blowing 20
to 7.
Shin Feng now for a long-range birdie here, Jerry.
Long range indeed. A little gently uphill in the first 2/3, turning slightly left. Then it goes over the peak in the green. Straighten out in terms of break and go slightly downhill with the hole. Not easy to get the speed dialed in here. That's a very nice effort speed-wise. And line wasn't too bad.
Very good putt from Shin Feng. That'll be a par, and she will remain a 3 under.
And that is a huge relief as well when you get a tap in out here, Tom.
Yeah, very, very difficult hole. It's the second most difficult on the course. Over to number 9. Big crowd here. Very well-supported event. The willing Kari Webb to try and make a birdie.
And this putt is downhill. Everything feeds down to the front left part of this green. Just try to tap into the correct speed here.
Zato for birdie at number 15. Grew up on the island of Okinawa, so she was pretty used to playing in windy conditions as a youngster. Didn't mind playing in the wind. In fact, went to the same high school as Chi Aramura. Now, Michelle Wee has this for a par at number 9.
And Tom, I do have to follow up on your comment about my interview with Michelle 10 years ago, and I'm thankful that I always looked young for my age. And it was really a delight watching her play in that event because she was so wide-eyed and innocent, and just everything was a brand new experience for her.
She didn't hit it, Kay.
No, and in a lot of ways, I think things were easier for her then. Not all the expectations on her shoulder.
Well, she's certainly had a roller coaster, hasn't she, over the last 10 years, but she's gained 2 LPGA victories. She has a degree from Stanford University. She's only 23. Many players, as Kurt mentioned yesterday, just beginning their careers at 23. Some haven't even turned professional. Jutana Garn for a par at number 7.
And wind, another gust kicking up at the moment. I'm surprised some of these players haven't gotten blown over.
Well, it's funny you should say that. Usually we're very sheltered in our booth during the week of a tournament, and Jerry and Kay are out there in the hot, sunny, windy conditions, but we have been battered by the wind in our booths like being on a plane in turbulence.
I certainly hope you're not looking for sympathy. That was a good read.
Yes.
Good catch.
Poor Witt almost fell out of his chair a moment ago with a big gust of wind, Jerry. But we're okay. You'll be thankful to know that. He on par now at the 9th. This for a birdie.
And this to get to within 1 of the lead.
The greens are not quite as good as they were last year. Obviously, tough conditions over the winter time for the green staff here, and they worked very hard to get them into tournament shape. Last year, they were absolutely perfect. This year, not as good, but there's battling hard. Kari Webb with a par there at the 9th. The very windy afternoon in Galloway, New Jersey. The ShopRite LPGA Classic presented by Acer. 3 players tied at the top. We've only got 5 players under par at the moment.
Golf Channel and the LPGA Tour proud to bring you live final round coverage of the 2013 ShopRite LPGA Classic presented by Acer. The Bay Course at the Stockton Seaview Hotel and Golf Club, Galloway Township, New Jersey. One of the favorite stops on the LPGA Tour. Hall of Fame member Kari Webb tied for the lead with Shin Feng, who will defend her Wegmans LPGA Championship title next week, and Chi Arimura from Japan. First-year player on the LPGA Tour. Maurya Jutana Garn, the 18-year-old, is 2 shots back. Jarena Pillar 2 under on the day. That's quite a round under these conditions. Michelle Wie now +3 for the week, +4 on the day. Whit Watson, Kurt Byram, and Tom Abbott in the booth, being buffeted by 25-mile-an-hour winds today. On the golf course, we find Jerry Foltz and Kay Cockrell. At the 10th, here is Kari Webb.
Using a fairway wood, things really narrow down and get tight up there, about where this hole starts doglegging to the left.
You have to find the fairway here off the tee to be able to spin your next shot. This whole location near the front, very difficult to get to, even with this little sand wedge she's going to have left.
Some of the past winners who made the cut this week. Christy Kerr shot 68 today. Also some pretty good scoring under the conditions. Ai Miyazato, a former champion here. Julie Inkster won the very first ShopRite LPGA Classic. I'm sure she didn't want us to mention that, but she did. 1986. Also won it again in 1988. Sunhwa Lee. Stacey Lewis, defending champion, 74 today. Had a rough round yesterday with 80. In very windy afternoon conditions.
This is Chi Arimura, the 9th hole. At the start of the second round, there were 19 players under par for the tournament. At the start of the final round today, there were 10, and there are currently 5 players under par. Jutana Garn, he on par, Shin Feng, Kari Webb, and Chi Arimura. Oh dear. Well, there are some bunkers in there, and there's also a lot of nasty fescue. I'm not sure what happened there, Kurt.
I'm not either, but obviously she was trying to get over those cross bunkers that you can't see. There they are right there. She was trying to carry them to get to the other side to the fairway, but she better hope it's in the bunker.
Yeah.
At the 10th, Kari Webb.
And Kurt, she found the fairway, although it's not exactly ideal in that she has on kind of a quasi-blind shot. She cannot see the surface of the green where the hole's located, just sees the top half of the flagstick.
A lot of fescue on the back side of that bunker up there, too.
Just a lob wedge shot, 80 yards away.
That's That's the problem.
Man.
That's what I'm talking about, Kay. I mean, with that front hole location, you had to be in the fairway, but it was almost like you needed to be further back. Brutal to get close to.
Shen Feng with her second at the 8th.
So tough to get this close without landing it short. You have to do that. Aim a little bit away from the hole from 59 yards. Oh, how about this?
Nicely done.
I'll say.
Landed it in the fringe there, Jerry, and that killed it just enough.
At the 10th, Michelle Wie at the par 4.
Just a little 3/4 lob wedge. Brick-like when it lands.
She actually drove it far enough down there. She could have landed the ball short. There's her angle right there. She didn't need to land that ball on the green. 4 over on the front 9. She needs to hang in there. At least, at the very least, play a good backside and get the confidence back a little bit.
Jutana Garn looking at her second at 8.
I like the play off the tee, Kurt. Try and get it as close to that green as you can. Boy, you'd like it in the bunker, though, because she has to play a super-duper lob shot here, I believe. If she were to aim it in that short fringe, she's playing so far to the right of the hole, it's not going to be too easy. But if she does hit the high lob, it's landing on a downslope. It's going to go to the back of the green. So,
yeah, what Jerry's talking about, in line with the hole right there on the back side of that bunker, the first 3 or 4 feet are dead downhill. But if it lands there, it's going to shoot to the back of the green. There it is right there.
that actually didn't bounce or run as far as I thought it would. That was a pretty good shot.
Yep.
Hee Young Park playing her second to 10.
She has the best angle and the best lie, a little uphill lie. 57 to the front, zeroing in on that front yardage.
There you go. She landed it about a yard short of the green, and that's what you have to do there. Good play. She drove it far enough. She had the angle.
Oh, Chiara Maurya looks like big trouble here. As she plays the 9th, we'll see what she can come up with when we come back.
Back at the 9th, Chiara Maurya searching for her ball with a number of marshals and playing partners on this final round. Back to number 8.
Jutana Garn for birdie to go to 2 under.
Her first practice stroke, right before you guys came here, she was in the middle of a practice stroke, got blown off balance. This back into the wind. It's supposed to be a little downhill. That'll be negated by the wind and turning slightly left early.
Tough combination. You can feel the downhill in your feet and you see it, but then going back into the wind, it's tough to hit it that hard.
This was a moment ago at 10. Kari Webb for the outright lead.
Yeah, putting almost the full length of this green. Overall, a straight putt.
That's good speed. You're going to have some long putts in these conditions. You got to avoid those 3 putts.
Now Michelle Wie on a similar line.
Yeah, she learned a lot from Kari's putt. Just going to play this left edge. Got that turning end over end nicely.
There's one. She's 5 back. I'll tell you that Webb did tap in as we go to 8. Shen Feng.
Turning a little right. Very delicate here and downhill, downwind. She puts it with some speed, though. Puts it with some speed on those short ones, and you have to do that out here, but it takes nerves, Kurt.
She did right there, boy. She slammed it right in the back of the hole. If that ball misses, it's probably 7 or 8 feet past.
Now Hee Young Park has this for birdie.
This is a similar putt she had on the last hole. Three nifty little shots there.
Yeah. And game on. She's 2 back at 2 under.
Maurya is still searching for a ball, but time is running out. She may need to go back and play it again from down the fairway. Bad news for Maurya. Very tough day here in New Jersey.
Wasn't over there. Yeah, in here.
We're back at the ShopRite LPGA Classic, the final round. Kari Webb just one shot back on the tee here at the par 3 11th.
Yeah, she's going with 4-iron. Watched Michelle Wee and Hee Young Park come up to the front part of the green with 5 irons. So she went with bigger club.
Only 41% of the field has managed to hit the green here at this par 3 today. Back to number 9. It's not getting any better, I'm afraid, for Maurya. This is her 4th shot. She did not find her 2nd shot. It ended up in that fescue you can see in front of her. So now, Kurt, she's got to try and get it over there again.
Yep. Same club, Tom. Hopefully she hit it a little bit better.
Okay, that one.
All right, maybe over the left.
Just maybe trundle off the fairway. No, it's going to stay on the short grass. Up and down for a bogey. This is Zhang Zhang for a birdie at the 15th. She is even par for the tournament with 4 holes to play. This is to get to 1 under for the tournament. She's 2 under par for the round. Former winner of the Rico Women's British Open. She won at Royal Birkdale back in 2005. She won the Wegmans in 2006, but hasn't won since then.
A look at IK Kim over at 12. Has a birdie and a couple of bogeys on her card today.
And that. Pretty accessible hole location at 12 today.
Even for the week, even for the day. Back to 11.
Kari's 2nd shot.
The epitome of a long chip and run shot.
Kari had that marvelous start today. Parred the first birdie, the 2nd, eagled the 3rd. She was tied for the lead. Shin Feng, the overnight leader, struggled in the early going. Here is Shen on the tee at the 9th.
It's headed left.
Just a bit.
And finds that bunker, Jerry. That was just a moment ago. Now live with Maurya Jutana Garn.
Curtis, a 3-shot hole playing into this really strong gale right now, actually, but you have to hit driver. You can't play it safe off the tee because then you can't get over the junk on your 2nd shot.
It's a good point. +3 wood. You'd be hitting it up in the air even more into that wind.
That was a very high ball flight into the wind, but it was a high-low revolution ball flight. Got plenty of carry.
Hee Young Park going with the putter from off the green here at the 11th.
I like this play. Understandable. The players came up short here. They're hitting back into a really stiff wind. And this hole is located almost as far back left that it could be.
Let's go over to 14.
Jenny Shin looking for a 4th consecutive birdie at the 14th.
This is impressive. How about that? Now, there are some hole locations there at 12, 13, 14 that you can get to, but that is very impressive.
Gets herself to even par and within 4 strokes of the lead.
Michelle Wee for a birdie at 11.
Trying to play this out a little further to the right than Hee Young Park just did.
She just hold a good one at 10, and she's done it again at 11. Michelle Wee from long range.
Is this not the craziest game?
A crazy game being played on a crazy afternoon, and crazy things are happening. Michelle Wee might be your winner by the end of the day. Who knows? Let's take a look at this one more time. Seen that kind of fist bump since Michelle Wee played in the Solheim Cup in Chicago, I don't think. And that was 4 years ago. Now Kari Webb is for a par.
That is this chip shot released out to about 5 feet. And you know on days that are tough like this, you can count on a large handful of 4 to 6, 7 footers for par all day long.
She's been pretty good with these so far today. She's hit a lot of solid putts. She's made most of them.
Really working hard on her tempo, maintaining a nice, fluid, even tempo.
Kari remains one shot back, but remember, Shin Feng is in trouble off the tee at the 9th. We'll go to the green at number 9, and Maurya has this for a bogey. We're having a bit of trouble with Chi's name. We've just been told by our Japanese friends at Golf Channel who've been listening in that we're getting it wrong. It's Maurya, so apologies for that. You are a Japanese speaker. I shouldn't think Chie is too bothered about it right now. She wants to make a bogey. It's going to be a double, I'm afraid. And however you say it, it is not a good hole for Chie Maurya. Drops back to 1 under par, but still in the hunt. What is the winning score going to be? Shin Feng. We'll see how she handles the 9th hole when we come back to the ShopRite LPGA Classic.
Jung Jang for birdie at the 16th.
This whole location's in the front. It's a helping breeze at 16 today. But there's nothing in the front of that green at 16. You can bounce the ball in there. Disappointing miss for her.
That could be big. She got herself back to even par, had not and still hasn't dropped a shot on the back 9 as we go to 9.
Oh, don't forget about Hyuna Shea. This is for a birdie. And the Frenchwoman moves to 1 under par. Player who has yet to win on the LPGA Tour.
On today's Kia Performance Awards segment, we will check out who's in the running for the Kia Power Drive. This award goes to the player with the best average driving distance in 2013. Nicole Smith leading that category. Marina Stutz actually was here this week, had to withdraw. She had some allergy issues here on the shore. Lexi Thompson in the top 5 in driving distance as well. All Kia Performance Awards winners will receive a new 2014 Kia Cadenza sedan and will be announced at the season-ending CME Group title holders event. Let's go to 17.
Jung Jang has reached the short par 3.
Circle just right of it.
This I think is the easiest hole location considering the wind direction and everything, Tom. I think there's room in front to land the ball a little short. Just don't go long.
Only 110 yards. Jung Jang would feel like it to be closer than that.
Should sit soft.
Try to land off, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Shin Feng.
Right into the rim, pretty much.
Jerry, we saw the tee shot go left into the bunker.
She hit a fairway wood out of the bunker, which was a risky play, and the wind took it well right. So fortunate it stayed where it did, though. She's got a pretty easy shot from here, foot 2 feet right, and she's probably taken unplayable.
It should roll a little left up there for the finish.
So, but the ring is low.
Pretty much right into you.
Okay. So we got it right.
She only has 67 yards remaining to the hole.
And she would be able to take relief, but I'm guessing it's not really needed here, Jerry.
I don't believe so. I think only the paved cart paths. The local rule sheet I didn't see anything about these surfaces.
It says all paths, but it doesn't differentiate between the two.
It's got to go a little. Not bad at all.
Birdie chance coming up.
At the 12th, Kari Webb, center of the fairway.
And try to control a little 90-yard shot. This is a very narrow green. Really only about 15 feet width to work with.
Backstop, though, behind the hole. There you go. Up on top, that first ridge.
Jenny Shin for a 5th straight birdie. The run is going to come to an end, but it should be a par for Jenny Shin, who's in the hunt now.
Michelle Wee at 12.
She had a horrible lie in the first cut of rough.
Hold on.
Boy, that could so easily happen.
Yep. Either side of that green, all the edges drop off, and she's going to be disappointed with where that ended up.
Maurya at the 10th.
And she's a little further back, so it's going to be a shot that'll have spin on it, but if you don't land it on the fringe, it's going to take that first big bounce like we saw Kari Webb have. But look at the backside of that bunker. You make a little mistake there short, and it's going to probably snag in that fescue.
I'm not sure what else you can do.
Not much. I mean, unless you get lucky and land it in the fringe. That landed just on the green, I believe.
Over to 9.
Maurya Jutana Garn, Jerry, is not too far away from the putting surface in 2.
No, 2 good solid strikes to here, and by all things considered, a very easy pitch shot. Pitching into the wind, a little from the left, shouldn't have affected much. And also where she lands, it's going to be slightly uphill, so you play the 1 or 2 bouncer and get it to check, and she should be able to get this quite close.
She hit a beautiful pitch shot back on the 7th hole, the par 3, when she came up short there. Good mechanics.
Yeah, there's not much that you don't admire about this game the more we get to see her. This, of course, her rookie year. Ranked 119th in the world, but that's just going to climb quickly and weakly.
Now Michelle Wee with some business to attend to at 12.
Delicate little shot, flat shot required. And you could tell she just goosed that a little bit, gave it too much ball.
Yeah, you could hear that, Kurt. It didn't sound crisp.
It's tough, though, because if you go under that ball and it lands on the slope, it comes right back to your feet.
Shea with her 2nd to 10.
A little bit better angle. She can get that opening in the front. She put a ton of spin on that.
Yep.
That ball landed just on the green, and she'll have a decent look at birdie. She's kind of going along quietly.
Hee Young Park over at the 12th.
This putt's going to have a little left-to-right movement to it. She's just short of the hole location. Missed a little putt for par at the last hole, so she fell back down 1 spot. This for immediate bounce back. Oh, rammed it through any sort of break.
Jiang with the birdie putt on the way at 17, but she's left herself some work to do. And she is at even par for the tournament, 2 under par for the day, which is the lowest round on the golf course at the moment. A couple of other players at 2 under. Kari Webb is, of course, 2 under for her round. Best score of the day, 3 under. Paula Creamer and Christy Kerr both shot 68. Back over at number 9, Shin Fang, for an eventful birdie.
Indeed it will be if she makes it uphill, turning gently left the entire way. Actually changes gloves to putt. She has a putting glove and a playing glove. This one significantly older and dirtier.
Have you ever seen that before, Kurt?
I don't think I have. I've never heard of anybody doing that. I've heard of players that have a preference to leave the glove on to putt with. Ian Bakerfinch comes to mind.
Ari Maurya over at 10. Expected some rightness, didn't get it.
Still, pretty good 2-putt.
Michelle Wie to save par now at 12.
This will move down a little to her left, about a 15-footer.
It was left the whole way, never had a chance.
Now Ishii at the 10th. Chance for a birdie.
She just got the good read on that putt she just watched, so a really good chance if she can get in there, lock in steady, and make a good stroke.
This would get her within 2.
Not enough speed, even though it was downhill.
Kari Webb at the 12th. This is for birdie and a share of the lead.
And she's trying to birdie that hole for the 3rd straight day.
She thought she had it.
Yep, looked like a really good stroke.
Jutana Garn has this for a birdie, so we get her to 2 under par, just 2 shots behind.
They would put her in solo 3rd at the moment, according to the big electronic leaderboard, just off the 9th green. This one should just go a little bit to the right.
Missed opportunity there, Jerry.
Indeed. You don't get that many of those on a day like this.
Well, they teed off, Jerry, at 12:50. It is now 3:40. It's not been particularly quick out there, is it?
No, but you really can't expect it to. It's granted, it's a short course and there's no distance between greens and tees, but you'd have to really take your time on and around these greens, and there have been so many ball searches going on this week in this wind, and they had to actually wait on this tee.
There's a par 37 on the front 9. The back 9 is par 34. Should be a little bit quicker on the back 9. Left herself a bit of work to do here.
Tough to regroup too after a disappointing short miss like that, to put it out of your mind and try and hit a solid putt.
Damage. Out in 2 over the card. And over to the 17th. Zhang has this for a par. Okay, 1 hole to play. It is a par 5. Zhang looking to set the target in the clubhouse. The target in the clubhouse right now is 1 over. That's Jarina Pillow, who shot 69 today. Back to number 9, Chen Fang. Okay. Well, drove it in the bunker. Still a chance for a birdie, but she walks off the par. Out in 2 over. Shen has the lead by 1. Zhang, Jenny, Shin coming towards the end of their rounds, trying to get it under par for the tournament.
Shen Feng on the tee at the 10th.
265 to run up down the left side. Dead downwind.
Wow.
Actually, it's right to left in helping this tee shot. This is going to be in great shape, and it looks like she's far enough down now. She's going to have a good look right at the front of that green, so she doesn't have to go over that bunker.
That was a moment ago. Now Maurya Jutana Garn. Kurt, this is the first time, again, she's only 18 years old, it's the first time she's ever played in the final group on Sunday. She's never been within 5 shots of the lead to start play on Sunday.
She's handling herself well.
Kyrie Webb has a tee shot now at the 11th. Player who won 3 times last year on the Japanese Ladies Tour. So she's had some experience in this position, but her first year, of course, on the LPGA. She's never won on the LPGA before.
If anything, if anything, it would be a corner with that, but I think this was pretty much a pro.
So this thing had a grip in this.
Yeah.
It's 39-10. Oh, I want to pitch it. 30 max.
Yeah. Yep. That's fine. That's good.
13th hole and Kari Webb as some of the biggest gusts move through Buffett, our booth at the 14th hole. Let's see what Kari can do here.
3 beautiful drives out of this threesome. Kari has 113 front, 135 to the hole. She was talking about trying to pitch this on maybe 10 paces and let it release from there. Wind blowing, helping slightly, mostly left to right.
This is doable here. There have been 15 birdies already on this hole.
Well, she pulled that one. Oh, you know, if the hole was located up there, there's no way she'd be hitting it up there.
Well, it was up there earlier in the week, but not today, I'm afraid. And there's a ridge there. She's on the upper tier of the green. Shall we?
Now, Michelle going to try to maybe use the right side of that ridge just a pace ahead of where Kari hit.
Is it going to come down? Is it going to come down? Oh no, it's hung right up on the top.
Boy, Michelle's not getting any breaks these last 2 holes.
Not touch it? I thought that was going to be okay.
He Young Park.
He Young really moved a good drive out there. She only has 125 yards left, and I think after seeing both those shots, she's going to focus just a little left of this flagstick. Oh, moving it right.
If it hangs there, Kay, it's going to be just fine. Yes, good chance for a birdie for He Young Park. Carrie Shea, second at number 11. We're talking about the hold-up curve. The group in front of them is that Webb Park Wee group, so they're 2 holes now behind.
Yeah, I'm surprised the officials aren't out there having them pick up the pace a little bit.
Aramura did have that hold-up at the 9th, but still a long way back.
Shen Feng, middle of the fairway at 10.
From 86 yards, Kurt, I'm sure there's a way to get it close on this shot. I just don't know exactly how.
Well, she didn't quite get far enough down so that she's, can bounce it in through that opening. Jerry, if she takes a risk, she'd want to land it short, maybe just a hair right of the hole and let it bounce up.
Yeah, I think anything's going to end up right of the hole. If not, it's going to be well on past. I swear it looks like the ball compresses when it lands. Like it picks up speed.
We've seen player after player do exactly that. It's a good quality shot, even with spin on it, but it's just not enough going downwind with the firm green.
This is Jenny Shin on the tee at the 17th. She's even par for the tournament. Never won before. She did lose in a playoff last year in Singapore. It's a very important 2-hole stretch for Jenny Shin. If she could go birdie, finish at 2 under par, you just never know what can happen.
Very well done, actually, going back into that wind. Tough to judge. You know, do you knock it down and hope for a big bounce? Do you try to fly it all the way there?
Kari Webb, birdie try at 13. She's got to negotiate that big ridge there, Kay.
This is really almost like playing a game of billiards. She's got to play it almost straight up the green, and then it's going to take a hard turn right. And it's really almost like a bank shot in pool.
Spot on. Just needed a little more pace.
Over at 10, Jutana Garn with her second.
82 yards in the rough. The good news is, Kurt, as you know, this is the right angle to go ahead and bounce one up there.
And out of the rough, she's going to have to land it well short. Kind of like that.
Yeah, that's going to work out just fine.
Sure is. Boy, good looking birdie.
Maurya for a par now at the 11th. With a birdie putt now at 13.
This is a 25-footer, but she's going to play it like a 3 or 4-footer.
She's thrilling them out there. Just gone bogey, birdie, birdie, bogey, par. 2 over, not quite out of it, but she really needs to play well over these closing 5 holes. Over to number 10.
Shen Feng. This for birdie.
This a little downhill, but also back into the breeze. Doesn't really do much at all in terms of break.
Allowing her to maintain her 1-shot lead as we head back to the 13th.
Hee Young Park has this for a birdie.
The best opportunity of the threesome. Beautiful short iron, hole high right. Not a lot of movement to this putt, and it's slightly uphill.
Birdie for Hee Young Park, and she moves to 2 under, only 2 behind, trying to win for the second time. She won the CME Group title holders in 2011.
What a great look from that low angle. You could see the ball bouncing a little bit as it rolled. It was a great roll, but the Poana still had it bumbling along just a little bit.
That's how things stand. Shin Feng, the 1-shot lead over Kari Webb. Hee Young Park, 2 back. Karina Shea, Maurya Jutana in the mix. Kari needing to hold this one.
Another 4-footer, maybe 4.5. Might have a little sliding movement to it as well. That's a great 2-putt right there.
And Kari remains 2 under for the day.
Jutana Garn trying to get one back over at the 10th.
Good chance here. Our topography chart that we get supplied by a guy who really thoroughly charts out these greens suggests this one is turning left, maybe a cup and a half. Tough to see all that, though, unless it does it early.
Wow. Didn't do it, did it?
No.
It bounced right off the face of the putter. It may have been part of the reason it didn't take the break.
Clean a shave for a par at 11. Drops back to 1 over for her round. Even par for the tournament. There are only 4 players under par now. There were 10 when we started the day. 69 from Jorina Piller puts her inside the top 10.
Golf Channel's presentation of the ShopRite LPGA Classic is brought to you by Wynn's new Duratec Competition Hybrid, a grip like no other. By Pinehurst Resort, experience the restoration of Pinehurst No. 2. And by the Ping Scottsdale TR Putters, true roll technology for unmatched distance control.
This was just a moment ago. Shin Feng with her tee shot at the 11th.
Into that strong gale wind, 184 with 5-iron. Kurt and I were discussing it as we watched it during commercial. No way this was enough club.
Stay right.
Probably looking at 170. Watch this.
Well, sometimes it's just your day.
Lucky, lucky, lucky. Live Jutana Garn.
With the utility of some sort well up into the wind, right of the hole, but a decent line depends on the number.
She's got a really good swing. I love the finish. All that weight onto that left side. She has that left leg straightens and she hits against that left leg.
Jenny Shin with a birdie putt at the 17th to get to 1 under par. Okay, no damage there, so she will have 1 hole to play. Even for the tournament to 14T.
This a moment ago, Kari Webb.
This is an exciting tee shot. Blind shot. Cannot see the surface of the fairway. On another stripe drive.
Yeah, there's a wall of fescue that the player looks at off the tee, Kurt. You really cannot see the fairway.
You can't see any of the fairway. What you do is you aim at our cameraman up there by the green. You can see him from that tee, but you can't see the fairway.
What's coming up on the LPGA Tour? A couple of majors within the next few weeks. The Wegmans LPGA Championship outside of Rochester, June 6th through the 9th, where Shin Feng defends. Then it's off to Rogers, Arkansas for the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship. And the U.S. Women's Open heading to Sabonic on Long Island. Na Yun Choi defending. Just mentioned that Feng is defending next week, taking those brand new golf clubs with her to upstate New York. Here's Michelle Wee with her second
Just
at 14.
A pace off the fairway. Seems like she's been dealing with that all day.
It just makes it so hard to control your approach shots when you're just into that primary rough. You just can't control your ball. You can't spin it. That really wasn't too bad.
Maurya over at the 12th with her second to the short par 4.
Big drive. And because of that big drive, just a little chip sand wedge left. Very nicely done. It really opened that green up. She didn't have to come in at the angle.
Hee Young Park at the 14th as that wind just rips right to left across the fairway.
Just a slight downhill lie. She wants to land this well short of the flagstick because the green on the second half slopes from front to back. And that obviously was way undercut.
Yeah, she never got squared up on that one. She just glided through it a little bit.
Okay.
Kari Webb next.
Kurt, when I was watching a lot of the players warm up this morning on the practice tee, Kari really wasn't trying to manufacture too many shots. She was just working on her rhythm and just trying to hit the ball solidly. It seemed like with more of an 80 or 90% power.
Which is smart, and she probably learned that growing up in Australia, where it blows hard a lot. And look right here, I think she chokes down just a little, takes more club than the yardage may suggest, and then just swings smooth. That keeps the spin off.
144 to the hole.
Sit.
Not happy with that one, and she shouldn't be. It wasn't nearly as tough as she made it look.
Zhang Zhang at the 18th. This for a 6.
That's, you never know. I mean, if she could have gotten in at even par and posted that number, you know, the rest of the players have to look up there and say, okay, well, that's the number, and you never know what would happen.
To the 11th.
Shin Feng with her second.
Pretty basic shot here. This green probably the flattest on the course. Good lie. Playing back into the breeze. Doesn't have to use a lot of loft here. Routine was much longer than normal. Never looked sure over that shot, Kurt.
No, she didn't. She took a couple of those practice swings to try to get comfortable, but you're right. She kind of got locked in over that one.
All right, Maurya after a very nice approach. This for birdie.
This would be a nice bounce back if she could get it to go here. She doubled the 9th hole, parred 10, then bogeyed 11, so she needs something good to happen. Like a misread to me. I think she made a good stroke. Felt like that ball would die right. The speed was good, everything was good, it just didn't do it.
Amanda Blumenhurst, she was tied for the lead after the opening round here. 5 under par, as you can see, 5 over at the moment, although it's a birdie at 15 for Blumenhurst. Currently tied for 19th at 4 over.
Kari Webb playing her 3rd to the 14th.
Chipping from the intermediate cut. A little right to left movement, and then it should straighten out. Not bad, but it's again another 4.5. Well, that's probably a good 5-footer. Gets tiring having to make those all day.
And she's had to make a few already.
She's been solid on them, though. But again, you just keep testing yourself, and the closer you get to the finish with the nerves starting to kick in, they don't get any easier.
Shin Feng looking forward to that major championship defense next week. Kari Webb knows that feeling many times over. Hee Young Park is 2 back. Maurya, Jutana Garn trying to win on the LPGA Tour for the first time. Jenny Shin, 1 hole to play. Who knows, even par could be a great number by the end of the day today.
Could be. I mean, Feng right now, I mean, she's got that putt to make for par at 11, which is not going to be easy.
Hee Young Park's 3rd at 14.
Thought she might consider putting this, but it looks like an 8-iron, keeping it low.
Nicely done. She's kept those wrists quiet, almost like a putting stroke type of emotion with the chip.
Jutana Garn has this for a birdie at the 11th.
Lengthy one at that. If there's anything in it, it might go a little left. Not much, just a matter of speed. I think first and foremost, Kurt, leave yourself that stress-free par. If it happens to drop, all the better.
It'd be nice. On this kind of a day, you'd like for something to be easy once in a while.
She's missed a couple short ones already. Pretty good speed there.
That would have been only the 6th birdie of the day at number 11.
She and her sister area play pretty aggressively. They seem to hit the putts that they get them to the hole, or if not, a little bit too far by sometimes. Area is a little longer than Maurya with her, the tee shots, and she probably hits one less club as far as the irons go, but they're both going to be excellent players.
On that topic, we talked to Maurya about that relationship with her younger sister, Area.
Normally, my sister used this ball marker, and I just took it for her and was like, I want some more birdie. That's what I told her, and she's like, okay, because I don't play this week. Yeah, she just hang around, work out a little bit, and she said she's gonna walk today, but she never walked. I mean, she never watched me first 2 days, but she's like, okay, I'm gonna go see you today. We kind of support each other, but also fight, trying to beat each other all the time. Also, like this week, she didn't play, so she trying to calm down. I mean, she trying to make me feel calm down, relax, and play games.
There she is. The younger sister, Area, who tried to Monday qualify for the event, missed out by one shot. She was in contention at Kingsmill right down to the wire on Sunday in Virginia a couple of weeks ago, playing on the LET. It's interesting, too, Kurt, they are only a year apart, but very different players in terms of style. We'll get back to that in a second as we head to 14. Kari Webb to save par.
Can she keep pouring in these 5-footers?
This is as good as I've seen her stroke the ball, since the couple tournaments that I've seen her this year. She's got good rhythm. She's hitting it very solidly.
Shin Feng to save par at the 11th.
Pretty big putt here. If anything, a little left and not much at all.
Just to remain at the top of the leaderboard by one.
Oh my.
Kari Webb is tied for the lead now, once again. Young Boston's one shot back. Doing a bit of traveling of lately. Shin Feng played over in Japan a few weeks ago.
This was a moment ago at 14, Hee Young Park.
Yep, about a 4-footer. She really stays steady. Really steady, Kurt, over those short putts.
Yep, pretty much a straight back, straight through stroke with those short ones.
And now Michelle Wee has this to stay at +2.
Yeah, her second shot went over the green. She used a little gap wedge, chipped it to this point. All 3 one-putt pars for this group.
Michelle Wee taking what this golf course is giving her. It's not giving anybody a whole lot today. Kari Webb is at 2 under. Great round going here in New Jersey. Golf Channel and the LPGA Tour pleased to be back in Galloway Township, New Jersey for final round coverage of the ShopRite LPGA Classic presented by Acer. Long history with this event and good galleries on hand on a windy Sunday afternoon. A lot of folks in this part of New Jersey and in this part of the country, they circle this week on the calendar to come back and watch the ShopRite every year. Kari Webb at 3 under, tied for the lead with Shin Feng. Michelle Wee at +2. Players dealing with gusts up to 30 miles an hour across the golf course. The Bay Course at the Stockton Seaview Hotel and Golf Club, which dates back to 1914. As we head to the 15th.
Kari Webb with her tee shot.
And Kari's pulled out a 5-iron, looking to land this just past the front of the green, and that was a solidly struck iron there.
Just along the flag high. A lot of the balls get that big bounce if they hit short of the green. The hole-in-one prize here at the 15th this week. It's a brand new Kia Cadenza and a first for the Kia brand. Complimentary scheduled maintenance is offered to Cadenza owners. I've had a chance to drive a Cadenza this week, and I tell you what, it's a very nice car. We drove it to dinner last night, didn't we, Kurt?
Yes, we did. It's a good ride. I've enjoyed having this car this week.
Has a bit of oomph as well.
Hated to give it a back. Hey, you know, I would like to have kept it.
You could have just driven it all the way to Phoenix.
You're right.
Atlantic City across Reeds Bay, where the Whitecaps continue to bobble about with the wind. Michelle Wee.
Going with 2 clubs less than Kari. Just launching that 7-iron up in the air.
There's that firm bounce, and that's going to be pretty good, Kay.
Yeah, that's vintage Michelle Wee right there.
So Kari Webb, Shen Feng tied for the lead. The ShopRite LPGA Classic. Jorina Pillar with around a 69 helping out her Solheim Cup chances. In the house at 1 over, you never quite know. We'll be back in just a moment.
Shen Feng at the 12th, her second.
Just 80 yards and such a tough shot to hit this little sliver of a green that crowns.
Turn.
That angle, she had to come over that front right corner, and she knew instantly the minute the ball left the club face she hadn't hit it hard enough.
To the closing hole, Jenny Shin. This to finish with birdie. This would be to come in 30.
Would have been interesting if that had gone in. She would have posted
1 under.
1 under for the tournament, you know, and you have that up on those leaderboards, and these other players that have holes to play would have been able to look up there and see that and know that you know, that was the score, that they had at least beat that. Could have made a difference.
Yeah, she follows 4 straight birdies with 4 straight pars. Over to 13.
G.A. Maurya for a birdie. Hasn't had a birdie since the 3rd hole. th hole, Michelle Wee has this for a birdie too.
And that beautifully struck 7-iron landed just underneath the hole, looking at a little over 20 feet for birdie.
Time starting to run out for Michelle Wee. Needs to make this one.
And time, I'm obviously not playing probably for the win anymore, but for a top 10 finish.
There's Feng playing her 3rd at 12.
Short-sided downwind and not a very good lie in that first cut of rough. That wasn't a bad shot at all. Actually, quite good.
Yep.
Golf Now and Deal Caddy are offering great gifts for Dad leading up to Father's Day this week. Give Dad the gift of exact yardage. Great deals on all the latest Golf Buddy GPS line of products, up to 45% off. GolfChannel.com/Father's Day. At the 15th.
The only birdie that Kari Webb has made on a par 3 this week came at the 15th in the opening round.
Tom, pretty amazing that she's played this 1 under. This is a very challenging par 3. And she's really been studying this putt while her 2 fellow competitors have played. It should move left off a little mound that her ball is resting upon, and then somewhat straighten out. To have an easy tap in par, though. It's been a while for one of those.
Aramura now for a par of 13.
Pretty quick little stroke. It wasn't much of a backstroke, and then it was an awfully quick transition.
Back at the 12th, Jutana Garn the next to play with this birdie putt.
Outside chance here, pretty flat the green is from this angle. She's just at the crest of that first tier. Kurt, you mentioned the similarities and aggressiveness by which Maurya and her sister Area play. They also typically play quite quickly, and this being pace of play month, it's nice to point that out because not always the case in professional golf.
I like it when they have a quicker routine and get with it.
Good looking putt.
I like the way she goes at it. You know, Area does the same thing. They get the ball to the hole in those birdie efforts, and you know, occasionally you miss one coming back, but they both play aggressively.
Young Park. This is for par at the 15th.
Yeah, she hit it over the green and a semi-decent pitch to that point.
What a par.
All it takes is one good putt to make up for a couple mistakes.
And she is still very much in the hunt, just one shot back. Young Park, high five. Absolutely.
Fung, this is to save par at 12.
Maybe just a left center, if anything. Kurt, let's see if she flies this one in the hole with pace again.
She's been throwing them right in the back of the hole today from this distance.
Not as firm, but the same result. Excellent putt.
Two players at 3 under par here in New Jersey.
Just a short drive away from Atlantic City, the final round of the ShopRite LPGA Classic. Maurya Jutana just 2 shots back on the tee here at the 13th.
Pretty generous looking fairway in the fescue, well off the fairway here, but the wind is hard as can be left to right. She likes that one.
Right down that center line of the fairway cut. Now Shin Fung.
Well, her bad drives today have been with a left to right wind, either into or straight left to right. They've been left every time. There is fairway bunker and fescue next to it left of this fairway. That's not going to be much problem there at all.
First player from the People's Republic of China to win on the Ladies European Tour and the LPGA.
The LPGA getting ready for its second major of the season, the Wegmans LPGA Championship, starting Thursday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Golf Channel as Shin Fung prepares to defend that title. She said that golf has not become as big of a deal in China as a result of that win as one might think. Not as big of a deal as, for example, tennis became when the Chinese won women's doubles gold in the Olympics in 2004, and then Li Na won the French Open in 2011. But she says golf is growing in China.
And she said in the past she wants to be the Li Na of women's golf in China. Blumenhurst on the tee at 17. Over the flag, a little bit of backspin. Nice tee shot from Blumenhurst.
Young Park over at 16 has this for her second.
He's playing like a 110. Perfect. 110 and 2 steps left to that flag.
And that's the voice of her caddy, Kylie Pratt, who is a very good player in her own right. Played a bit in mini tour golf. Been on the bag for Young Park the last couple of years. Pretty enticing hole location right up front.
Got to land it right on the front edge or even a yard short and let it bounce up.
Yeah, that backstop that can help out.
It's There's a couple of approach shots for her that she's left out to the right. She's not quite squaring it up at impact.
I'm just going to go 2 trees over to the left. Yep. Michelle has 113 yards total. 104 to the front. And if she can finish things off decently here, she's going to have her best finish of the season and her best finish in quite a while.
Just a big sand wedge. Great opportunity. There's a backstop right there that she's on top of. She just misses coming back down that ridge.
That's 2 times in 3 holes where she's just hanging on the top part of the green.
With the little spin, it would have come back down off of that ridge. She would have been very close to the hole.
Kari last to hit, and you know, Kurt, I look at someone like Kari, and very similar to how Annika played. They both, you know, had the length. Kari's such a pure ball striker, but what separated her was her ability to have good wedges. A great game from 125 yards in.
And the great players like Kari, you know, the more pressure they feel, they're still able to swing the way they've always swung. They're able to pull these shots off.
Was asking for some left to right breeze and didn't get it, but all in all,
bad, but it's not quite up to her standards.
Amanda Blumenhurst for a birdie at 17. Well done. And birdie at 15, birdie at 17. Inside the top 20, it's going to be her best finish of the year, as long as she doesn't have a nightmare up 18. Good to see Amanda, a very popular figure on the LPGA. 3 under par leading the way. Jenny Shin in the clubhouse at even par. Karina Pillar with a very good day's work. Lowest round of the day, 68. That came from Christy Kerr and Paula Creamer. Caroline Headwell playing well today. To the 13th hole, Shin Fang with her second.
126 yards remaining. Again, the wind from the left. Maybe hurting a little bit. She's going with pitching wedge. And she hears a roar from somewhere nearby. Didn't distract her one bit. Didn't even go after that fully. That had to be a just complete misjudgment of the wind.
Still here for Maurya Jutana Garn.
3 yards closer. 123. That's on a good line and looks like the right number.
Absolutely, Jerry. So a good birdie chance coming up for Jutana Garn, trying to get within 1 shot of the lead. And let's go up to the 18th.
Well, let's find out what happened. That roar a moment ago over at 18. Beatriz Riccari from off the front. This was a moment ago. Makes the trip home a lot easier.
18th hole at a par 5 playing back into the wind. It's a heavy wind. It's really tough to get home in 2. You've got to absolutely smash a drive to have any prayer.
Riccari, a winner earlier this year at the Kia Classic, as we head back to the 16th at Young Park.
And Kurt, upon looking at this isn't the easiest little putt. It's only 18 feet, but it has to go up and over just an ever so small little rise.
If anything, it should go a hair to her left. Hit it and you make it.
to 13.
That's the ball of Shen Feng's, Jerry, and it doesn't look great, does it?
Well, it could have been a lot worse. She's got 3 good breaks in the last 5 holes by my count. On 9, she missed the fescue by just a matter of inches. On 11, it bounced out, and here it could have easily rolled in. It's got a pretty clean lie, although it is severely uphill. She's starting to make a few unforced errors, Kurt. 11, 12, and now here at 13 as well. That was not a good shot.
You know, late in the day, she has well, she's tied for the lead right now, and the nerves are definitely kicking in a little bit.
Michelle Wie, this is for birdie at 16.
She's made a lot of birdies this week. This for her 14th. Just nudging that down the hill.
See, that's how close her approach shot was to being down there around the hole, though. If it spun back just a touch and then tipped over that ridge, she would have had probably less than 5 feet.
Yeah, it gives you a good idea of why she was so upset that ball didn't come back. Right now, she's in the top 10, and she could break a string of 19 starts since she was last inside the top 10. She is on that number right now at +2.
Her best finish this year is tied for 28th. So hopefully this week, all in all, is a confidence builder for her.
Sometimes that's all it needs. You need, Kurt, is that first breakthrough, first top 10, and you can build on that.
Kari Webb, the active victory leader on the LPGA Tour with 38 career wins.
She's not thinking top 10 right
now.
She expects to win every time she tees it up. She had her longtime coach Ian Triggs here all week, and I was particularly interested with their work on the putting green. She works with this very whippy practice putter, and it helps ingrain the proper sequencing of the putting stroke and timing and tempo, and she's really maintained that beautifully throughout this round.
What that whippy shaft does, if you make a harsh transition, really quick and hard transition, it'll whip that shaft and you can feel it.
Did she hit it?
No.
Shen Feng for a par at 13. Shen drops to 4 over par for this final day. She is 1 shot back of Kari Webb. What did we say? Level par would be a good score at the end of the round.
At the closing hole, Yanni Sen to finish with a birdie. She's +10 for the week.
Winning she did for a couple years, it doesn't take much. A little loss of focus, a little bit of loss of confidence, and
Maurya Jutana gone now for a birdie at 13.
Great look at it here, and probably got a pretty good idea of what this does, what very little this does from Shen Feng's putt.
Maurya Jutana gone along with their mother watching.
Kurt, she plays with so much energy, doesn't she?
She does, and I can't believe she left it short. That's literally the first putt I've seen, at least on the back 9, Jerry, that she's left short.
That one hobbled twice early, and as you know, that costs you a lot of speed.
Yeah. You can see her sister, Aria. Oh, come on, sis, you got to get it to the hole.
Kari Webb has reached the tee at 17.
Such an intimidating little short shot. Kari just watched Hee-Young Park hit a soft 9 short left, and it rolled off the edge of the green. Kurt, you gotta, if you're gonna miss it here or air, you gotta take it a little right of the flagstick. This is dead back into the wind.
Now the last thing you want to do though is go long. There's a bunker behind the green, but if you go long, then you're going to be coming downwind, coming back to the hole. So you don't want to go long here. That's why we're seeing a lot of balls short of this hole.
Well, that sounded solid. Trying to draw it in a little. staying straight.
That's nicely done. I mean, she's going to have a good look at birdie, but it's safe, not over the back.
Now, shall we?
Just a little bit right of it. Yeah.
And we talked about Michelle's struggles in the last couple years, and Kurt, I look up to her for her constant optimism and thoughts about trying to improve, and that good things are just around the corner.
Love the attitude. Swing changes over the last 4 or 5 years, I'm not sure I like, though, to be honest with you. That's a good shot there, but when she was 13, 14, 15 years old, she had this long, flowing swing to a beautiful finish, and she hit it a mile.
Shall we? 3 over par for this Sunday. Kari Webb 2 under the card. She has a 1-shot lead, 2 holes to play. A birdie chance coming up at the 17th. We'll see it when we come back.
Back at the ShopRite LPGA Classic, where the Hall of Famer Carrie Webb is up by 1 over Hee Young Park, and Wegmans LPGA champion Shin Feng ready to defend her title next week. She is on the tee at 14.
Not an easy tee shot to get in the fairway blind, as Kate mentioned earlier. Went from the right, and it doglegs right. That was solid and low right up the right edge.
419 yards. It plays a little bit downhill, and that's going to be in really good shape. This is a real flat green at 14.
This is a big putt here for Kari Webb. Birdie chance at 17, Kate.
And as Kurt said, this is a great position. It's an uphill putt. It might have a little bit of right to left movement to it, but it doesn't look like too much. She can go ahead and give this a fairly good effort without worrying about it speeding by.
Kay, have you noticed, has she been watching the leaderboards when they show up?
It didn't seem like she looked at the last leaderboard, which was on the last green. I'm sure her caddy did. The hill and the wind at the end just kept it out.
That could have been the tournament right there if she got it to 4 under.
She's in awfully good position, though. You know, if she can get up and drive it like she has been all day at that 18th tee and put the ball in the fairway, I don't expect her to make any mistakes from there on in.
7-time major winner. Kari mentioned the Rico Women's British Open back in 2002. There was that eventful win at the Kraft Nabisco in 06 when she held the wedge at 18. Twice a winner of the United States Women's Open, which is the tournament when you talk to players on tour, if there is one major that stands out among any other, it's the US Women's Open, and Kari has 2 of those. Out to the 17th again. Shall we with another chance for a birdie?
I think all in all, she's played pretty darn well today, particularly after that rough stretch towards the end of the front 9. And then she really flipped it around when she made the turn. This is also a little bit of an uphill putt coming from the low left, just short left of the hole.
As you mentioned, Kurt, I think she's going to take a lot from this win. This finish, her best result in 10 months.
You know, it's hard. You know, we talked about it yesterday. When you lose confidence because of her poor play the last 2 years, which has been really poor for her, 1 top 10, I think, last year, you lose that confidence. And I think the only way to get it back is to start shooting low scores, and that's how you build the confidence back.
Amanda Blumenhurst to close with birdie here on Sunday.
Slightly downhill going this direction.
It's another player, Kurt, that's going to take a lot from this week. She put up a good number in the opening round, her best of the season, as a matter of fact, as we go back to the 14th.
Maurya Jutana Garn's second shot, 132 front, 52 hole. Not a good lie. I was just trying to get that to the front edge, and that just scored it right on her.
Okay, you mentioned that Hee Young Park missed the green at 17, as this left for her 3.
Did not chip it particularly well. This is a good 12-footer, and she's made a couple poor chips today. I would say that's the only weakness in her game. She has a really nice ball flight, particularly for the wind. It's a strong, low, penetrating ball flight, and I think that's why she's in this position today. That hurts.
Yeah, drops back to 1 under. Still inside the top 3. Over to 14.
Shin Feng with her second.
This from 134 and a 9-iron.
Stay right.
That looks better.
There we go. I tell you, that landed softly. It was back into the wind, and that's one reason why. But usually they've been taking a huge first bounce.
Kari Webb, 1-stroke lead as she plays her final hole of the day. Will that number be enough? To the 18th, Kari Webb playing the par 5.
Yes, taking a good hard look down the left center of this fairway.
Left of that tent you see in the distance there, that's the line. That white tent, you got to stay a little left of that.
That's a good one, Kurt. She's going to like it. She's going to love it.
Yeah, that swing has produced under pressure for a long time, and it looks like now, with that ball in the fairway, she's on her way to maybe her 39th victory.
At the 14th, Maurya Jutana Garn's 3rd.
Ranks 124th this year in sand saves at only a 35% conversion. This one playing downwind should release. Not a bad shot at all there, Kurt Byron.
No, that's pretty well done. But again, 5-6 feet for par. Those are tough.
At the closing hole, IK Kim, this to post at 1 over.
Boy, with confidence, good stroke.
Began the day 11th by herself, now tied for 6th with a round of 1 over 72. Back to the 14th, Shin Feng for birdie.
No, I don't see much in this in terms of break, but it is just gently downhill. This green slopes from fairway to back of green. It's not the distance you want to be firm with, Kurt.
No, and you know, any more mistakes and they're going to make it easy for Kari.
Michelle Wee on the tee at 18.
See if she can control the trajectory of this drive. And she's really synced it up pretty nicely on this back 9.
There's a bit of Tabasco on that swing, Kurt.
Yeah, she gave it all. Man, she is flexible, though. That my back's bothering me just watching her make that swing.
The top players on the Champions Tour all in Des Moines, Iowa for the Principal Charity Classic. Coverage continues tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Golf Channel. As we go back out to the 14th, Jutana Garn for her par.
She will indeed, having Zach Austin, her caddy, help read it. Not every putt, but he's awfully good at it. I watched it, just kind of tell by his hand motions and the different parts of the putt, Kurt, because there's so many little subtleties. He gets them pretty much nailed every time, and that's not easy out here.
They do a lot of work in the practice rounds, and then you mentioned earlier, Jerry, they've got these graphs now that are printed out and chart. Every green's charted, and they can buy that from a guy that does that, and it really does help.
And back in college, we called the similar thing cheat sheets.
I'm sure she knows what this does. Now it's up to her to just lock in over the ball and hit this putt solidly.
She got a read from Heiji Kang, who made it from about 3 feet behind her just a moment ago. Good stroke. Not to be.
She made only 5 bogeys in the first 2 rounds this week, and that is her 4th today.
Back to even par. She's going to have to really do something special coming in if she wants to win.
3 players now under par. We were at 19 when the day began yesterday. We were at 10 when the day began today. Fun for par.
Jerry, they showed up this week and expected to, you know, kind of the same old ShopRite, and all of a sudden a U.S. Open broke out.
Or a women's British.
Yeah.
This for par. This started her streak of 4 birdies in a row, starting at 14 yesterday. This is to stay within striking distance with hard holes remaining. Well, she's been clutch on a number of occasions today on those putts.
Let's go to the 18th. Kari Webb in the center of the fairway at 18.
Yeah, a hefty 238 to the front. That's probably playing 260 to the front. Kurt looks like she's going with a 3-wood to try to get it down there as far as she can.
Yeah, the main concern of those 2 bunkers you see up there, she wants to get past them.
Well, this is going towards the left.
Where's the wind?
It's just fine, Kay. It stayed in the fairway. She probably can't see it there, though, because of that fescue. She can't see over the top of that. She's just fine.
Well, that was a smart play. Sorry, Whit, to get past all that.
You're more comfortable with that. Let's check.
I think I can go at this a little bit better than the 3-wood.
I would agree, yeah.
Yeah.
And so a little left to right.
Just right at the pole, like at the left edge of the golf channel.
Whit, we might see a little bit of some fireworks here out of Michelle.
I was just about to say, remember she made double here yesterday. Hit it in the fescue left.
Good.
216 to the front.
In the hole!
She hit that low bullet hybrid.
Hit it, Win.
So close to being good. There's slope right there. That'll be a tough up and down, but when she tries to knock it down, she pulls it a little bit.
Could this be Kari Webb's day for the 39th time? She's in an awfully good spot. Live at the 18th at the ShopRite LPGA Classic here at the Bay Course, Stockton Seaview Hotel. And this is Kari Webb playing her 3rd.
One of those little 40-yard touch shots that if you're good at this shot and you love this shot, it's a big advantage.
She's usually pretty good at it from what I've seen. She has sort of a kind of a smooth rhythmic motion usually, and she shallows out on the way down and really clips it off the top of the grass. She's hit some good ones.
You've been saying all day it's a swing that produces under pressure. As the conditions get tougher, she's been in the situation so many times, and there's just no let up.
Yeah, she hasn't changed much over the years. Her swing looks pretty much the same to me as it did 10, 12 years ago. So she's got confidence in that swing under pressure, and she's seen the good shots. She can rely on that. She can go back to shots. I've done this before. I've hit this shot. I know how to hit this shot under pressure, and she relies on that.
On the 15th tee, Shin Feng.
With a 6 iron, 174 is the front number. That's all that's in your mind. Actually, a little bit short of that. This is on a good line. Now you just cross your fingers.
Wasn't far away, Jerry. Good chance for a birdie coming up for Shin Feng. Had she holed out, she would be driving away in a brand new Kia Cadenza. A new era for the Kia brand as the most powerful and technologically advanced vehicle Kia has ever offered in the United States. It's the Kia Cadenza, of course, Kia, the official automotive partner of the LPGA Tour.
At the 18th, Michelle Wie.
Well, we were all back in the fairway, and even Michelle wasn't sure where her ball ended up, and Kurt, it was probably very close to hanging on the edge of the green.
It was, but that slope took it down here, and now Kay, she's got a tough shot. She almost looks like she's rehearsing a bump into the hill and then hopefully judge it from there.
She only has about 4 paces of green to work with. She could afford to hit it a little bit past.
Yeah, bumped it into just the top of the hill.
Back at 15, Maurya Jutana has this for a birdie.
Another good look here. Just past hole high right. Doesn't break much. Back into the breeze a little bit. Maybe the breeze out of the left as well. Could influence this because this green is so exposed. Raised in the air from the tee, and it's a kind of an exposed part of the course.
Jerry, are these players on the clock?
They are. The final 2 groups are on the clock right now.
Well, she's not doing herself many favors here, backing off.
Every once in a while she's caught a gust and has backed off. The funny part is well, obviously there's been a lot of trouble. Heiji Kang's 11 over for the day, but they actually waited on the 9th tee, and by about the 12th hole they were a hole and a half behind.
Young Park over at the 18th has this left for birdie.
And again, I mentioned it earlier, it's been a pretty solid year for her. She's only missed 1 cut. She's had a couple of top 10 finishes. And I really like her game, and I especially like her attitude. Very, very positive, very optimistic. I think the whole mojo in this whole group has been very, very good, and it's helped everyone.
This would get her within 1 of Webb.
That's like 3 or 4 putts down the stretch that she didn't convert.
Shin Feng for a birdie.
She's tied with Michelle Lee for most birdies in the field this week with 13. She needs this one.
She doesn't get it. Shin remains at 2 under, 3 holes to play.
Back at the 18th, Michelle Wee looking at this birdie bid. This would be her first birdie since the 11th hole if she can get it to drop.
Pretty good back 9 though, Kay. I mean, you know, after the front 9, when she shot 41 on the front, she could have let it get away from her, and she's really grinded it out here on the back.
Yep, came out immediately with birdies at 10 and 11. This one's going to be back downhill. You could see how much she wanted that. She is fully invested with every shot. She may make mistakes, but she doesn't give up.
Going to be a top 10 finish for Michelle Wee, so she's got something positive to take into the Wegmans LPGA Championship next week. Final round 74 plus 2 for this 54-hole event. Now our leader, Kari Webb, to get to 4 under.
And this for a very impressive round of 68.
Yeah, and this putt, you know, with Feng's miss at 15, she's going to make it really tough on her to come back and tie her. I mean, if she can get this to go, get to 4 under par, she'd have a 2-shot lead.
She was rock solid on those 5-6 footers. She made every one of them. 1 bogey on the card today for Kari Webb. She made 11 consecutive pars after a bogey at 6. And and then makes birdie at 18 to get to 4 under and a 2-shot lead with Shin Feng still on the golf course, 2 back. Maurya, Jutana, Garn, 4 back, playing in the final group.
Another look at the winning putt, the bug on the backside of the ball. That didn't bother her. Watch the roll. It just catches the inside left. Really positive stroke, though. That's what she did all day.
Kind of snuck it in, but it's good enough. Her last win on the LPGA Tour, the R.R. Donnelly Founders Cup in 2011. Had a bunch of top 10s last year. Could this be her day?
This is a moment to go. Shin Feng for a par. Shin now has to make 2 birdies to catch Kari Webb. Let's go to 16.
You can see they're in a hurry to get to 16 as the group has been put on the clock, as Jerry reported a moment ago. Shin Feng, Heiji Kang, and Maurya Jutana, a couple of holes behind in that final group. So can Shin Feng come up with some magic here on these final 3 holes? She's down 2. Kari Webb birdieing 18 to get to 4 under. Hee Young Park in the house, even par 71 today. Jenny Shin had a great round, 4 consecutive birdies, 11 through 14.
Well, with Feng's length, if she can drive it in the fairway, she should have no more than a wedge, maybe even sand wedge, which should give her an opportunity to make birdie at 16. Let's see what she does here.
And Feng is the first to play.
And as Kurt mentioned, you got to get in the fairway, wind blowing from the left. That's kind of been her bugaboo today. When she has missed a tee shot, she hasn't missed many. But she's got plenty of length, as you mentioned, to have a scoring club in. That's up the left center if it doesn't run through.
Just into the first cut, but it looks like it's sitting nicely, so she should have a very short iron second shot.
Maurya Jutana next. I believe I was standing next to Brad Alexander. This group's on the clock. She took a really long time to play. It's about both. Actually, she 3-putted the previous hole. I believe I saw him indicate to her a 2-shot penalty on the tee. I'll confirm in a moment.
That +3 total you saw reflects that. Well, she's 18 years old, Kurt. She's playing in the final group on Sunday for the first time as a professional. She's never been within 5 shots of the lead to begin a final round. There's a lot going on here.
And some lessons are really hard to learn. And if that's a 2-shot penalty, that'll be one of the hardest for her to swallow today.
Golf Channel and the LPGA Tour very happy to bring you live final round coverage of the ShopRite LPGA Classic presented by Acer. Atlantic City just across the way, Reeds Bay, the body of water bordering the Bay Course at the Stockton Seaview Hotel and Golf Club. Kari Webb seeking a 39th career win. She is the active leader in that category in the clubhouse at 4 under, and she is with Kay Cockrell.
Yeah, thanks very much, Whit. Congratulations, Kari. That was probably one of the most phenomenal rounds I've seen, given the conditions today. First off the bat, I got to ask you, you knew what you were up against out there, the conditions, the wind, the fescue. What was your thought process as you were warming up, getting ready for this round?
Well, I was pretty happy it was windy. 5 shots back, and, Shin had a 3-shot lead. I knew that I wouldn't be all that comfortable with it being as windy as it was. And I just had to, go out there, hopefully get off to a good start, which, I birdied the second and eagled the third. So, I actually had to control my adrenaline after that for a couple of holes. It took me a while to settle down. It wasn't pretty at times. I've been working with Ian Triggs this week, and we've been working on a few things trying to get my knockdown a little bit better, and so I'm sort of in 2 minds when I play it. Wasn't all that comfortable, so I didn't hit as many knockdowns as I would, good knockdowns as I would like, but I managed to get up and down when I missed greens, and amazingly putted really well today.
Yeah, speaking of getting up and down, your putting was brilliant, particularly in that 5 to 10 foot range. How good was your putting? You must have to rank that as one of your best all time.
Yeah, I think just as far as commitment goes, I had a ton of 5-6 footers, you know, for pars and birdies and what have you today. But you know, just probably the commitment and, you know, pick my line and hit it there. And, you know, if it goes in, that's what I'm trying to do. So yeah, it's probably my best putting day as far as backing myself 100%.
Well, it was a treat to watch a rare 68 today, and we'll just wait around to see what happens.
All right.
Thanks, Kari.
Thanks.
Guys, back to you.
All right, Kay, thank you. We head back out to the 16th. Shen Feng's second.
131 to the hole, going with pitching wedge. Needs to get all of it. On a good line if it bounces.
Oh, and it did. How about that?
Wow.
She's trying to make it interesting. 3-footer for birdie.
So Shen Feng with a clear look. She knows what she has to do. 3 holes to play for the reigning LPGA champion. At the 16th, this is Feng for birdie to get within 1.
Just left center. Not much to it.
One back with 2 to play. And a par 5 at the 18th, following a short par 3 at 17. Kari Webb is in with 68. Now Jutana Garn for birdie at 16.
That was needed.
Maybe a case of too little too late, though. In case you missed it, she was indeed penalized. Jerry, you have more on that? Catch up with Jerry Foltz in just a moment, but she was indeed penalized, was Maurya Jutana Garn, for a bad time.
Yes, that came on the 15th hole, Jerry.
Yeah, on the 15th hole, you get 30 seconds for each shot and a 10-second grace period that's cumulative on a hole. That's 100 seconds on a par 3 tap-ins, don't count, and she wasn't close. Rules officials hate to dole that one out, but he had to.
Yeah, Brad Alexander following this group. Now, Shen Feng on the tee here needs a birdie. She needs 1 birdie in the next 2 holes, a birdie and a par, and it'll be a playoff, 2 birdies, and we will not need a playoff. She will be the winner. Can she do it? That's the big question.
Going with wedge, she has the ability to keep it low. If this balloons at all, it might not get there. Has to go.
That is not what the doctor ordered.
She has made that mistake on more than one occasion today.
Up and down.
The vocal galleries. Up and down, they're saying. He needs to get it up and down and then make a birdie at 18.
Tell you what, obviously, Kari Webb and Michelle, we got the lion's share of the gallery today. But the fans that are out here are in huge support of Shen Feng right now, and they enjoy this tournament, Tom, year in and year out. It's great to see that it came back here after that short hiatus.
Yes, there's a couple of years where they missed it, 2007, 2008, 2009. Maurya Jutana Garn, there's the scorecard, the double bogey, triple bogey, I should say, at 15 with that 2-shot penalty, slow play penalty assessed.
Well, if there's a silver lining in that cloud, nobody wants to get a penalty, but at 18 years old with so much golf in front of her, that's a nice learning experience.
Well, unfortunately, she didn't learn anything from Shen Feng. Ends up in the same bunker. Maybe a little bit rattled, but she did make a birdie at the 16th. Shen Feng bunkered at the 17th. That's the ball of Maurya Jutana Garn, not quite in the bunker. Can Kari Webb win this tournament? We'll find out.
Kari Webb waiting, getting in some work. 2-time winner in 2011, looking for her first win since. Can Shen Feng catch her to 17?
A little uphill lie here. 43% is her conversion rate this year out of the sand. This is her first greenside bunker shot all week. That came out nicely out of that uphill lie. Actually, had to have a rock right next to it because a little pebble got hole high as well.
Needs to make that though. Needs to make that for a par. Take another look at that one, Kurt.
Yeah, on that upslope, it's easy to leave this one short, especially back into the wind. Splashes it out of there. It's well done, you know. I mean, if she's paying attention to the leaderboard at all, she knows that how important that was to get it up and down.
This doesn't look too good for Jutana Garn.
This is a brutal eye when you have to play fast.
Folks out watching, trying to get some shade from the sun. It's been a very warm week here. Temperatures in the 90s early in the week, up in the 80s today. Heiji Kang for a birdie now at 17.
The only player to get it on the green long range, though, Heiji, a very disappointing day. 11 over by my count on the round. Had 3 consecutive doubles on the front. That would have been nice, but when it's not going your way, those never drop, Kurt.
It's frustrating. Even a little lip out just to rub it in a little bit.
Started there in second, because you're now tied for 58.
They say you learn a lot from, you know, being in the last group, but when you have a day like that, I don't know. I'm not sure what you take from that.
I like what Judy Rankin says all the time, Kurt. You learn a lot more from winning.
Yeah, I agree, actually. Yeah, absolutely.
Maurya Jutana Garn for a par.
This could be a little slippery. It's definitely downhill, but earlier in the week I didn't see this putt run out as much as you would expect. Although today this wind has really dragged them out now.
I'm not sure I'll be backing off too many times, Jerry.
I'm not sure they're still on the clock. They got to this tee, and the other group was just walking off the green, and technically that puts you back in position.
Jutana Garn has that for a bogey. Shin Feng now with a very important putt. This for a 3. She's 1 shot behind Kari Webb. This to remain 1 back with 1 hole to play. There's a par 5, remember, at 18.
This one gently uphill. If anything goes a little bit right, and there's one silver lining right now having this for par. The one skybox behind the screen actually blocks this portion of the green out from a little bit of the wind, so she'll feel a little more stable than she would have otherwise with the wind blowing left to right. Bounced early.
Tough to keep it on line when it takes that big of a bounce. I mean, that was a big bounce.
The task just got so much more difficult. It hasn't been updated yet, but Kari Webb keeping her eyes on the leaderboard. Time for a quick snack.
Kari's going to feel pretty good about it. There's only been 1 eagle the entire week on the 18th hole. That was Jarena Pillar in round 1. So for Shin, she's going to have to, I don't know, smoke a drive and then maybe outside chance of getting home in 2.
Maurya Jutana Garn for a bogey. It's been a horror last 25 minutes or so for Jutana Garn. Leading the Louise Suggs Rolex Rookie of the Year, chalking this one up to experience, I think. It's not going to be a victory. Kari Webb, it's a different story. Very close to getting her hands on the ShopRite LPGA Classic. Shin Feng needs eagle at 18. There's the change on the board. Has she noticed? Yes, she has. That's going to bring a smile to Kari's face. She has a 2-shot lead.
Well, Kari Webb is still out there on the practice green. She does know that Shin Feng just made bogey at 17. She knows She has a 2-shot lead. She probably doesn't know, Kurt, but can guess that there haven't been many eagles at 18 this week. There have been only one, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, it's a tall order. I mean, it's back into the teeth of the wind. 501 yards, probably playing more like 550. So you've got to really pound a drive and have it in the fairway, or you have no prayer.
I don't think it's reachable, Kurt. Not right now, not into this wind. We've only seen one eagle, as you mentioned. I don't know how many eagle putts we've seen. And they all would have been the first day. That's hammered up the left side, though. Should stay in the fairway.
That's a good start. Rolled out a little bit, too, but going to take everything she has to even come close to getting home in 2.
Jutana Garn next to play, and as Tom Abbott mentioned a moment ago, what a nightmarish 25-30 minutes she's had.
No question about it. I mean, it's as difficult of a day as this is to perform in, and then to have that and be saddled with a 2-shot penalty. But she'll be better for it in the long run, I can promise you that. The very next hole after the penalty, all 3 players playing as fast as they could, all hit it within 4 feet of the hole in 2.
Got it in the fairway. She didn't seem real happy with it. I think it got up into that wind a little bit.
Kari Webb taking a casual stroll, maybe take a couple of swings. You never know. Just never know. The final group in the final fairway at this 2013 ShopRite LPGA Classic. Maurya Jutana Garn playing her second to the par 5.
Yeah, a little over 270 to the front of the green, so no chance. So didn't catch that tee shot all that well, I got to imagine. Just trying to get this in the fairway and not trying to bite off too much in terms of distance. That's heading a little right, though.
Shorter of those cross bunkers, though. That you see there in the corner of your screen there, that's to carry those, you're left with about 40 yards to the front edge of the green.
And now Shin Feng, she has to make eagle to tie.
Well, she's going to have to do it by holing a short iron, because she's got 240 front, 250 hole, going with 5-iron here for a layup.
Obviously made the decision that she couldn't just pound a low hook up in there somewhere and try to run it up to the front edge of the green. And
yeah, I don't think she could have got it that far to begin with, Kurt, and that brings a big number into play if you catch the fescue off the sides, and it costs you a whole bunch of money.
You're right about that.
You hate to see somebody not play to win, but had no chance of getting it there.
I can do that. Great job.
This car, it's a pretty good score on a day like this.
It's a great score. I mean, you consider that there's probably only going to be 3 players under par for the week. Today was very tough. All week was tough. The wind blew hard pretty much every day. The greens have been firm from the very start of the tournament, so it has been a real challenge out there.
She hit 12 of 14 fairways today, 12 of 18 greens did Kari Webb. Took just 28 putts.
Straight at it.
Back out to the 18th. Jutana Garn, the first to play her third.
.102 front, 112 hole. It looks like an 8-iron. Another one that it just ballooned in the wind.
It's so important to learn that knockdown shot. I mean, you're going to play in some heavy wind at times, and that shot is just money.
And the wind is almost straight in, isn't it?
It should be just a hair on the left.
Okay. Go straight then.
Yeah.
Okay.
110 of the hole and a 9-iron.
So this is it for Shin Feng.
Pretty good line just left of the hole.
It's a good shot, but that secures career win number 39 for Kari Webb. She becomes the 6th member of the Hall of Fame to win the ShopRite LPGA Classic, and Kay Cockrell is with Kari.
Well, I'm delighted to be here to officially say congratulations to you on winning for the 39th time out here on the LPGA Tour. The 2nd time this year. You won earlier in Australia. Does this ever get old?
It never gets old. It never gets any easier either. Today was extremely tough, and I'm just glad that I pulled it out. I didn't think coming down. I knew I needed to make one birdie, I thought, because I didn't think I could just par in and feel comfortable. So great birdie on the last.
You've won so many times in so many different ways. How does this rank among your wins?
It ranks up there. You know, I've never really had a decent shot. I've played here probably, I don't know, 15 times and never really had a decent shot of winning this tournament. And actually my grandma at home has been ill and in hospital this week, and we actually thought, you know, that she was going to pass, and so she told me that I had to win this tournament for her. And she's on the mend, fortunately, but it's still for her.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm sure you brought a big smile to her face with this great day of play.
Well, I don't think she's still in hospital, but I don't think she got to watch it today, but I'm sure my mom and dad will fill her in.
Well, great job digging down deep and doing what not many have done. And you get a ShopRite win for the first time in your career. Congratulations. Guys, back to you.
Annika Sorenstam, Betsy King, Julie Inkster, Sayri Pak, Nancy Lopez, and now Kari Webb, all Hall of Famers to win the ShopRite. Kari Webb has secured the win at the ShopRite LPGA Classic. 4 under 68. Shin Feng had to hole out for eagle at 18 to force a playoff. Could not do that, but the reigning LPGA champion has this for birdie at the 18th. Try to get within 1.
Uphill, right to left. Looks like she can two-putt that. She finishes solo 2nd. Really good tournament for her. She's having a really nice year. She hasn't won this year yet, but a bunch of top 10s. She was over in Japan just a couple weeks ago, played at a major on their tour over there. She finished top 10 over there as well, so she's played really well.
75 today for Shin Feng, who now can look ahead to next week and the LPGA Championship, where she will defend her title in upstate New York. It's been a rough go of it for Heiji Kang as part of this final group. She will have a putt for birdie, but as Jerry mentioned earlier, she had a stretch of 3 straight doubles. She's +8 now for the week. From 2nd place to start the day to a tie for 58th.
She's kept a pretty good attitude all day, though, guys. Smiling late in the round as well.
And now the 18-year-old Maurya Jutana Garn began the day in contention, playing in the final group for the first time. This is for par at the par 5.
This final group, I just counted up, plus 21 on the day. Actually, no, 22.
Maurya Jutana Garn suffering that slow play penalty. Back on the 15th. Turned the bogey into a triple. She made birdie at 16 and made double at 17. Quite the learning curve for that young lady. Kari Webb, all smiles with career win number 39. She is projected to move into the top 10 in the Rolex World Rankings as a result of this victory, from 12th to 9th, thanks to her win at the ShopRite LPGA Classic. Her first win here, and her first win on the LPGA Tour in just over 2 years. She won twice in 2011, also won the Ladies Australian Masters earlier this year, but she is back in the winner's circle this week. Michelle Wie in the top 10, 74 on the day. So she's got some confidence going forward. Look at Paula Creamer and Christy Kerr, who shot 68 as part of the morning round, the morning wave, almost finishing in the top 10 as the wind picked up in the afternoon. There is Jutana Garn with the +4 top 20 performance. Ai Miyazato also inside the top 20. Jie Shin, Young So all at +4. Christina Kim, a top 20 as well here in New Jersey. Kari Webb enjoying the cheers over there at the 18th as she captures the ShopRite LPGA Classic. Final round 68 and 4 under par. Shen Feng, her closest pursuer, playing in the final group. 75 on the day, but she's got a little confidence and a top 5 finish as she defends her title next week at the Wegmans LPGA Championship. Whit Watson, Kurt Byram. Number of storylines this week. One was the weather. The golf course truly deserves another mention. Some of the putting greens not exactly the way that they would have liked them to be. However, at 6,155 yards, it proved this layout, almost a century old, can still stand up to today's players.
When you set it up the way that they did, it can. The greens were very firm all week. The Poana is tough to putt on late in the day, especially. It gets a little bit bumpy, so we saw some short missed putts, and you have to drive it well. I mean, it really requires every part of your game to be sharp to be able to play well here. With that fescue in play all over the golf course, we saw lost balls. You had to drive it in the fairway, and then even the par 5s, you had to wonder whether you should go for the greens in 2, because near those greens at those par 5s, more of the fescue. So it played really, really tough when you add in all that wind.
Michelle Wie inside the top 10. Maurya Jutana Garn, the 18-year-old, had a chance, was inside the top 10 until that untimely, to use a phrase, penalty at 15. What did you think about Jutana Garn and the way that she held up under the scrutiny this week?
You know, she obviously had a tough day, but I think that at 18 years old, she takes a lot from this tournament. You have to go back and look at it and analyze what you did and take the good and remember that part of it and then fix whatever it was that caused the bad round today. As far as Michelle Wie, I think it's all positive for her, and I think as poorly as she's played the last 2 years, she had 1 top 10 last year. Her best finish so far this year is tied for 28th. She has to take confidence from this, and she has to build on this and keep it going that direction. With her talent, there's no reason she can't get back in the winner's circle, and I think with confidence and with more wins, win more than just once a year.
Now, her attitude remains very positive. She believes in what she's doing. She was in contention throughout the week. Kari Webb captures it at 4 under. Shen Feng second alone at 2 under par as we send it down to Jerry Foltz.
Thank you. I'm standing by with Shen Feng. Second place solo, as you mentioned. Not a bad finish. Not what you had in mind, though. Would you, looking back on this round, is there anything you would have done differently?
I would say today was just so tough. It was tough condition. I think 4 over, it doesn't sound like a great score, but I think I did okay today. I tried my best.
Was it tougher seeing all the other players struggle ahead of you and even in your group with Heiji Kang?
Yeah, but I was not really surprised because I know in this condition we can do anything that people don't expect us to do. But I think I did okay today, even though it's +4.
It was such a huge win last year at the Wegmans LPGA Championship, not only for you, but for your entire nation. Does this give you a lot more confidence heading back in to try and defend next week?
Of course, because actually my caddy was sick this week, so Tom caddied for me this week instead. And when we just finished on the 18th, he said to me, he said, "You're ready for next week." So I think so too. So I'm really looking forward to go back to Locust Hills.
Second shot on 18, I had you 240 yards front of the green, 250 to the hole. Was there any thought of trying to run something up there right in front of the green?
No, not really, because it was 200 to clear all the long stuff, and into the wind, I didn't think I could do it. I mean, it was really a risk.
All in all, happy with the way you managed the game out there today, because that was probably the most important thing.
I think today, I tried to stay patient because I did hit some crazy shots, but I stayed very patient, so I think it was okay.
All right, we certainly look forward to seeing you next week. Good luck and thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Congratulations on a good week.
Thank you.
You bet. Guys?
Jerry, thanks. And the Wegmans LPGA Championship coverage on Golf Channel kicking off Thursday at noon Eastern Time. The LPGA moving on a couple of weeks after that to Arkansas for the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship, where Aimi Azato defends. And then the U.S. Women's Open at Sebonack on Long Island. Na Yun Choi, last year's U.S. Open champion. Kari Webb capturing the ShopRite LPGA Classic at the Stockton Seaview Hotel and Golf Club, the Bay Course. More to come from New Jersey in just a moment. Golf Channel's presentation of the ShopRite LPGA Classic is brought to you by ShopRite. Download the ShopRite app today. Easy, mobile, free. Details at ShopRite.com. By Bridgestone Golf, bridging the gap between you and the pros. And by Prudential, official financial services provider of the LPGA. On Monday, Golf Channel is covering U.S. Open sectional qualifying. 12 sites across the country, on air, online. Special Golf Live extra exclusive coverage. Count on Golf Channel to bring you the excitement of golf's longest day, beginning Monday morning at 7 a.m. with Morning Drive. On this final round, Jenny Shin, Jiang Zhang, and Chie Arimura are the qualifiers this week for the season-ending CME Group title holders. And by our math, if Michelle Wie had made her putt at 18, she would have punched her ticket for the season-ending event in Southwest Florida. But these are the three that now will be securing their plans for the CME Group title holders at the end of the year. Certainly a tip of the cap for all the folks in Galloway Township, New Jersey. The hospitality has been wonderful this week. They love their golf. They do come out in very good numbers. Great galleries, as the weather was spectacular for 3 days, breezy, but they certainly know their golf in this area. And there is Kari Webb with the trophy. As mentioned, there have now been 6 members of the Hall of Fame.
Well, in addition to the trophy, you also
that have won this event. Annika Sorenstam, Betsy King, Julie Inkster, Sayri Pak, Nancy Lopez, and to that list you can add Kari Webb. Her 4 under total. Tournament record for scoring, by the way, 17 under, which was accomplished twice, but I can guarantee you, Kurt, that the wind was not up those 2 years.
No way. I mean, that's tremendous playing. I mean, Kari Webb, 68 today, ties the low round of the day, and she played in the third to the last group, so she got the worst of the wind and the greens being that firm.
Amanda Blumenhurst picking up her best finish of the year inside the top 13, tied for 13th, 75 on the final day. Paula Creamer, Christy Kerr, 68 earlier. There is Jutana Garn, the 18-year-old. Her day was well chronicled. Allison Walsh was in on Friday, answering your questions live via Twitter. 69 on Sunday, +4 inside the top 20, as was G.A. Shin. Christina Kim, Na Yun Choi, Beatriz Riccari, all with top 20 finishes. Lizette Salas leading a long list of players at +5, which is a tie for 28th position. Marina Ishii also at +5, tied for 28th. There is Inbee Park, the world's #1. A 2-time winner here, Julie Inkster, at +6. Good for a tie for 38th. Stacey Lewis, defending champion, 8 over this week. Our coverage of the Wegmans LPGA Championship begins Thursday at noon Eastern Time, the second major of the year for the ladies as they head back to upstate New York. In the meantime, for Kurt Byram, Tom Abbott, Jerry Foltz, and Kay Cockrell, our producer Beth Hutter, our director John Del Vecchio, the Golf Channel Vice President of Golf Events Jack Graham, and our entire hardworking crew in New Jersey, I'm Whit Watson. Kari Webb putting her name on that trophy, the ShopRite LPGA Classic Champion for 2013.
This has been a presentation of Golf Channel, the fastest growing network on television, part of NBC Sports.